Hello, how you doing?
Hello, is this Dazzle?
Yeah, it's Dazzle.
Yes, how you doing? I want to know if I can book a reading or if you're available for a reading.
Yes, always. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I think my baby father's sleeping with the girl next door.
What?
And yes, because she always looking at me funny. She never really speak. But every time I'm with him, it's like she speak and be giggly, like doing this like a side eye thing. I think it's like a woman's intuition thing. He say I'm tripping, but I know I'm not. He don't do nothing for me, nothing for my kids. And the other day, I found like a Gucci receipt in his armrest, and just coincidentally, she had like some
Alright,
new
we're
Gucci
gonna
shoes.
figure. Oh shoot! My bad, y'all. My bad. Girl, thank you. So, anywho, I done sat there. I gotta do the whole gigarama all over again. Okay, so first of all, hello. It's your girl Dazzle, and I'm back for a live tarot in chat. Okay. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I upload and when I go live. And if you would like to book a private reading, everything is in the description box. Okay. So I'm sitting here talking to y'all and I'm trying to get y'all some personal updates and stuff. And the whole time I am on mute. Okay, so but look, I dropped the link down so if anyone wants to come up and talk about the P. Diddy trial, this, that, and the third, and the verdict, because we're going to get into it because honestly speaking, today was crazy. Okay, so just to update, my uncle, he passed away on Father's Day weekend. After you post it, put a disclaimer that the volume comes on a 2-minute mark. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that, but then I think I'm going to like edit it. I'm going to cut out that little part right there so it just don't look crazy. but but I'm going to try, girl. I'm going to try to figure it out. But look, yeah, so basically, my uncle, his funeral, his celebration of life is on the 14th. And let's see, I'm going to just show y'all the flyer that my family sent to all the loved ones, the friends, and the family. And honestly, like, I am so happy he does not have to worry about being sick no more. So I'm not even mad at it, okay? I'm happy that he doesn't have to worry about being sick. To be absent from the body is to be present in the Lord, with the Lord, okay? He's on the other side. He transitioned. Thank you so much, okay? I'm happy that he transitioned peacefully with people who love him, okay? So here is my uncle right here. I'm gonna show you guys. I had to put the thing all the way down so y'all can see it. That's my uncle. I don't know if y'all can see him all the way clearly, but yeah, his funeral is on the 14th, so I'm excited. that we're going to be able to celebrate him. Okay, so first of all, I'm not getting my hair done, retwisted, and pinned up until it gets close to the day because I'm going to be speaking at his funeral. And what we're going to do is the whole theme is going to be like different colors, different color of blues, like, different tones of blues, and like I guess a creamy white or whatever. So it's going to be really nice. And my grandma picked out his casket. It's a blue casket, like a navy blue casket. It's a beautiful casket. So we're going to have a very, very special moment for him. Okay, because he was very much so loved, and my childhood would have never been my childhood without him in it. He was in my life every day in childhood, okay? And that was my mom's favorite brother, okay? So, anywho, let's get into this. Oh, and then I got something to tell y'all, okay? I got something to tell y'all for real. So, if I told y'all everything that was going on with me, y'all'd be like, what, Dazzle? What the hell? What the helly? What the hell, Hanson? I went from, okay, so my uncle died, right? He passed away. Then, because he passed away, I believe, he got sick on Father's Day weekend. I think he passed away Wednesday morning at 3 a.m. in the morning, right? So that Wednesday I called out, right? And then I had to first of all, my fur baby ate my glasses, my other glasses. He chewed them the fuck up. So I have insurance on my other glasses. So I was going to go back to the eyeglass place to pretty much get some replacement glasses. So I'm on the road and I'm trying to make a U-turn, and apparently, because I'm using GPS, right? So I'm trying to make a U-turn, and it was raining real hard that day in the DMV, right? So I guess, I don't know if I did it too fast or not, but look, I slid all the way off the highway onto the curb, onto the sidewalk, into somebody's yard, right? And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm staring towards the sled because I'm like, you know how they tell you to do that? So I'm trying to do that. And I said, the first thing I thought was, I was like, bitch, get your motherfucking foot off of gas. And I pressed the brake real fast and I stopped in the middle of somebody's yard. They didn't have a gate or a fence, right? It was an open yard. So I'm like, so I jump out real quick. Check my body. Check the car. Look around. Ain't nobody around. So I said, okay. So I jump back in the car, drive out the yard, drive off the sidewalk, and drive right back. Yes, drive right back into the motherfucking highway. Drive down until I see a local neighborhood. Park in the neighborhood and sat there for a minute. It was shook us, okay? Because I was actually going to go. After I was going to go get some replacement glasses, I was going to go to my mom's house to console my grandma and my sister and the family that was over there, right? And I said, oh no, God, I can't. That's a sign to take my ass home. So I thought I was going to go meet the Lord. I thought I was going to go meet. I was leaving with my uncle. Because, okay, so I'm making a U-turn. And I guess I was trying to do it fast because, again, I'm on the highway. I mean, I'm on a little, busy street. So I'm trying to U-turn fast. But when I did so, first of all, it was raining. So the ground is wet. And so when I did this, that motherfucker sped that way. I was like, oh, my God. Then if that wasn't whatever, that happened, right? And then last week, I'm going to work. I'm on the highway again, right? And it's busy. It's like 7:30 in the morning. So it's congested, right? And I'm trying to move over into a different lane, right? But you know how you have to wait till it's space to actually move over. I got my right turn signal on. I'm trying to wait to space. Hopefully somebody give me some space so I can go into the far right lane because I have to make an exit to get to work. So I'm looking at the car behind me and I'm like, okay, well they're not decelerating, they're not letting me over. So let me decelerate, let me slow down and let me wait till they get up in front of me because there's some space behind them that I can get in. So I'm like, okay, so let's do that. So I'm seeing the motorist, the person in the car, they're speeding up. So I'm like, okay, it's my time to get behind them. Do you know this girl slowed the fuck down real quick and then started turning to the lane that I was in, right? Didn't put her turn signal on until the second after she was turned into the lane, and me and the girl got into a fender bender. And first of all, she messed up my turn signal light, right? But the bulb is still there, but the glass, the little glass that shielded was shattered, right? It's like a small, because I was driving a Jeep. So the turn signal light in the front on the right-hand side is small. But however, this girl car, her bumper got messed up, right? So I'm in the fender bender, right? Now, mind you, there's two things I can do. I can roll the fuck out or I can stay. The whole time, a bitch ain't got insurance. I was in between insurance at the time. I was trying to change insurance. So, she insured, I'm not. And I'm like, damn, bitch. But then she's so nice and stuff. And I'm like, don't take no pictures. Look, just tell me how much money it is and I'll help you fix your bumper. It ain't even that bad, right? So, she ended up calling her insurance and she wanted to basically get it done by her insurance and they was going to bill me. I'm like, fuck it. But 2 times after my uncle died, right? After my uncle passed, 2 times I get into a car accident. This is the first 2 incidents I ever had with a goddamn car driving since I ever been driving, right? Then, if that's not crazy, let me tell you. Then after that, I started noticing that I was getting nauseated. Okay? The girl was getting nauseated off of wine, off of different smells, all types of stuff. Then I said, well, damn, I haven't come on my period last month at all, right? So I'm like, damn. And then I started noticing my chest started getting tender. So I said, well, let me take a pregnancy test. Now I found out I'm pregnant. Ain't that some shit? That's what your girl been going through, y'all. I've been going through it. I done did all this stuff. Now I gotta wait until the 10th because that's my doctor's appointment, to confirm and stuff. I took like 3 pregnancy tests and it's positive, girl. So now I'm pregnant again. And it's a lot, girl. All that was happening. But look, that's what I had going on, okay? I be having a lot going on all at once. All right. So keep me in prayer. And this is going to be a fun journey. I'm already trying to make sure, everything's okay. Right. So I'm going to be going to the doctors and stuff. But see, I'm already looking for like baby stuff. Like I want to get like a little, I don't know. I want to hurry up and get like the strollers and stuff like that. I don't know why. I'm just pressed to get it, right? So I've been looking on Amazon, putting it in my Amazon cart. I don't know. But look, and hold on 1 second because I got to get my I ordered Uber Eats too. So they're about to knock on the door, right? So give me a sec while I go get this Uber Eats from the door, and then we're coming back so we can do this P. Diddy mess, okay? So hold on. Thank you. Okay, I am back with my Uber Eats child. Okay, so hold on. Woo. Okay. Put this over here. Alright. So, let's get into this P. Diddy stuff. So, y'all know, hold on one second. I gotta make sure my Uber Eats is up. And I might as well drink this lemonade while I'm talking mess. Because I ordered some lemonade too. So, hold on. Let me get to this. So let me tell y'all. So this P. Diddy trial, this whole thing has opened my eyes to content creators, to, conspiracy theorists, to the public view of things, and, how mainstream, legacy media reports, and how, foot on the ground, self-made content creators report, right? It taught me so much, okay? And it showed me, again, the difference between the two, legacy media and new media, okay? So, this trial was all about Cassie. They built a Rico, I've been told you guys, all about Cassie. Cassie was the only way, because you would think with the FBI, they would have their ducks in a row. The FBI has this high conviction rate, right? But it seems like they were not, surveilling Diddy. They were not trying to build the case until Cassie decided to step forward with her lawsuit and what she experienced. Then they decided to build a Rico case based on what she experienced and what was happening with the freak-offs. It was weak, okay? It was so weak, but apparently you had people in legacy and new media trying to make it fit what happened. Diddy, and I said it time and time again, he was a druggie. He was a sexual deviant. And he also was a domestic violence abuser. But he wasn't charged for that. He was charged for Rico and sex trafficking. Okay? So he ended up not being charged for Rico or the sex trafficking. He just got charged with, matter of fact, let me go ahead. I'm going to show y'all what he got charged with. Hold on, I'm trying to show y'all me. Okay, I'm back. Let me look it up. So, let me see the news. Let's see. Diddy found not guilty. Let's see. Breaking: P. Diddy found not guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering. Let's see. We're gonna listen to this.
Rising
okay?
healthcare costs are hurting
they
American
paying bills.
families,
Let me see.
but eliminating insurance coverage for millions.
Come on. This is going to be from Law and Crime Network. Hold on.
Time no see. Good to be with you. I'm Chris Stewart. Welcome back to the Law and Crime live stream. We have live coverage. I know we just had a verdict is in animation run. I want to be clear that a note has been sent from the jury. So we're a little more than an hour into deliberations today, roughly 14 and a half hours thus far since the jury started deliberating. Remember yesterday, they reached a verdict, unanimous verdicts on 4 of 5 counts facing Sean Diddy Combs, but they were deadlocked to that point, or at least in a place where they said,
hold on, let me try this one. Let me try live now from Fox.
We're looking right now at
the podium where they've stood up for either the prosecutors or the defense attorneys, someone from the trial, to step up and speak, which we will carry live with you as soon as we get it. But right now, it is just about 10:28 here on this Wednesday morning, and we are finding out that 3 of the 5 charges that Sean Diddy Combs was charged with by the federal prosecutors, he was found not guilty by the jury. The 2 charges were each on Cassie Ventura and the Jane Doe. He was found guilty of transportation for prostitution, which is the lesser of the 5 charges. Each one carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. The others, there were a minimum of 15 and potentially life in prison.
right, and right now his attorney Mark Agnifilo is arguing with the judge to let Sean Combs walk out right this second. It's going to be interesting on what's going on. Arthur Chan is outside the courthouse. First of all, I imagine like every press outlet in the world is near where you are, Arthur. They want to see if Sean Diddy Combs is going to walk out in the next hour or so.
Yeah, they're not only here, but they're here in duplicate or triplicate, just like we are, right? Lisa Evers is here. She's inside covering the proceedings that you just described. I'm out here. Everybody has a lot of resources out here. You're looking across the street. This is the Worth Street side of the Southern District Federal Courthouse. This is in Lower Manhattan, right? And there are pens, as you can tell. There are people on ladders. That shot that you were just showing of the podium is on the other side of that. We have that obviously covered, as you saw from that camera shot there. And then there are hundreds of people out here. There is a tremendous element of public interest. So there are a lot of people. We rarely see this intensity of it. Even during Trump's trial here in New York, we didn't see this many regular citizens out here trying to get a look, trying to be involved. And they've lined the streets over there. This is going to be a very interesting security issue for the U.S. Marshals who are in charge of security over here. You talk about the podium. Certainly, you would think no matter what happens now, Mr. Combs' lawyers are going to come out and speak. Right? They're going to set the scene for whether he should be released, why they should win on appeal. That's going to happen. I would be surprised. We'll be ready for it, but I'd be surprised if the prosecutors are going to speak here. They lost in 3 out of the 5 counts, and as you've been pointing out, those were the heavier counts in this. Now, traditionally, what has happened is...
Okay, so like they said, 3 out of the 5, they lost. It was not guilty. The only thing that he's being guilty of is the transportation for prostitution. Okay, so he's a first-time offender. He's not about to get the book slammed at him, thrown at him, because the truth is we are not on trial for domestic violence, and he has been exonerated from Rico and things like that. And I have done a video not stating, but doing a reading on it, right? And I was accurate. He's going to get 2 of the charges, and it was 2 of the lesser charges, right? And I also told you guys, like I said, that he's not going to get the time that people was speculating that he would get. He's not. He's not going to spend life behind bars, things like that, right? And technically, for all the charges he had, he came off easy. It's a victory for him. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was just crazy, right? So then everybody outside of the courtroom went crazy. They started attacking the content creators who were out giving biased content. They said that they were giving biased content. Like Tisa Tales, I'm going to just go ahead and ask, was she giving bias? How does she really feel, for one? And then I'm going to ask, was she being biased, for 2? Yeah. Hey, girl. Hey, Miss Waverly Cakes. What's up, girl? Girl, you ain't hear about all the drama, all my personal drama, girl. I done let it out, okay? I am with child. But, yeah, it's a whole bunch. It's a whole lot of whoopee. So maybe I'll share my journey and maybe I'll vlog about my journey, right? Because this is going to be the first. Yeah, I think Tisa lies too. I mean, I think so. But hey, this is going to be my first time having this type of journey. Like, and I want to make sure it goes all the way through. So I'm praying and hoping and things like that, because I previously had a miscarriage last year in the cluster of my mom having a heart attack, right? Last year. Now, a year later, my uncle passes and I'm with child again. So, this is crazy. So, let's see. How does Tisa Tales feel about the verdict? How does she truly feel about the verdict? About the P. Diddy verdict. He's been found not guilty of Rico. He's been found not guilty of prostitution, racketeering, and things like that. The only thing he's been found guilty of is the transportation for prostitution. Yes, blog your pregnancy journey. That's what I think I'm going to do, because this is going to be my first biological baby. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so how does she feel? How does she feel about this? 1, 2, 3. What's her true emotions? Oh, child. It says, I miss you. But look at this picture, though. This girl is sitting at her window pane in the rain, watching the rain go down her window pane. She is sick. She is sick. Feeling like shit. She feels like, what the fuck? This did not go her way at all. And it's like a funeral, right? So, mind you, the funeral is the reverse. So, the way I see it like she had to put this to rest. She's pouting. She's upset. It didn't go her way. But I feel like, you know what really happened? She's one of those people who was led by emotion, okay? And I think it was the prosecutor's fault. I think it was the government's fault. And I'm going to tell y'all why. I'm just about to wake up my hubby because he got to go to work tonight. Wake your butt up. Let me see. I'm going to see if he answers. Watch this. I'm waking my hubby up for work, y'all. This is routine. He's upstairs asleep, and I'm down here, right? So let me wake him up. You up? Okay, get up. It's time to roll. Time to go. Get up, up. He up. Okay, back to the regular program. What happened was the government led by, because that tape came out, they led by domestic violence, right? They led by that. So the first thing you're going to think about is Cassie being beat up in the hotel hallway, okay? They led with that. And then also they went hard on him with the raids, right? Mind you, they were not even investigating him prior, right? They went hard with the raids. And then when they spoke to the media about what they found, they didn't. Oh, what Tisa did. Now, here's when there's different ways to lie, okay? What it is that Tisa was so. Let me finish. I'm gonna get to it. So they led by that, and then when it came to the raids, they automatically started talking about guns, finding guns in his house. Whole time, what they did not tell you was that those guns were actually found in the security area. He owns his own security team. Why wouldn't a SPO have a gun, or why wouldn't his security be, legal gun carriers, or why would they not have a gun, right? So they found that there. They did not tell the yeah. They was not telling the public that, right? They also told you they found all this baby oil, right? And they sensationalized it. They even had lawsuits that said there was drugs in the baby oil, and it was not drugs in the baby oil. People were not being drugged by baby oil. No, they were not. Right? So then that feeds into the whole conspiracy narrative. Tisa Tells is conspiracy minded. They were not, yeah, they were scratched off, but the whole time they belonged to the security, right? And they were in a secure location, right? Now, even if it belonged to him, the fact of the matter is it was in the security room in the security house. My bad, y'all. That's a helicopter. But look, it's in the security room. It's actually locked up in the secure location, in the secured area. It's literally locked up, right? So how can you sit there and be like, well, he needs to be charged for that when all those guns they're owned by the security? Like, you see what I'm saying? So basically it's like they was trying to make it seem like he had them underneath his bed or some type of stuff like that. No, the guns were in the security vault. Mind you, another thing they messed up at, they did not conduct the raid properly either. They were supposed to take pictures of before and after. When you go into someone's quarters and you're raiding the place, before you sit there and tear up, you're supposed to take pictures of the area, what it looked like before you did it and after you did it. Where you found the guns at, you were supposed to take a picture of it before you took them all out and displayed them. Okay? Because that means, and then the people who raided the place couldn't tell you where they got any of the stuff from because they didn't even take a picture of it. You're supposed to. That's protocol. So they messed up that too, right? So you have that going on, and then you have the conspiracy stuff going on. Tisa Tells is conspiracy minded. Tisa Tells is a Me Too movement girl. Tisa Tells is a feminist. Tisa Tells is also a previous tarot reader because she used to do tarot before she did the celebrity gossip and things like that. You put all that together and you're going to automatically think that he is a monster, right? All that together, right? So you're gearing to a certain audience, right? You're going to say what the audience wants to hear, and not only that, you're going to believe it too, right? So you're going to say what you believe and what the audience wants to hear, and you're going to stand on the side of the female, and you're not going to really take in consideration everything else because you've already been pounded on with this tape, right? And then you've been pounded on with the conspiracy of him and he's this bad man, and then you also been pounded on, you know, as far as pro-feminism, right? So it's a lot with her, but all that conglomerate together is you're going to start talking, right? And you're going to start relaying stuff, and it's going to be biased, right? So, but they call her a liar because she has done clickbait and she has exaggerated, okay? And then during the trial, she did exaggerate on certain stuff, right? On how certain people looked, on, oh my goodness, guilt, Diddy messed up big time this time, and whole time it was really, yeah, she also lied about the white drug mule being dead. He was still locked up. Yes, boo. I ordered some food for you, boo, for lunch. Okay. And yeah, so, and that's your lemonade too, if you want to take that with you. So yeah, so she lied about that. And speaking of the drug mule, you know, whole time the media and the feds called him a drug mule, but in fact, he wasn't even a drug mule. They just totally, they basically amped that up. But no, she said she puts 30 on 10 a lot. Yes. And then he wasn't even a drug mule. In fact, the only reason why they caught him with any drug paraphernalia was because he was cleaning out P. Diddy's room that day and found some cocaine or whatever the case may be in his room. And so what he did was he just threw it in P. Diddy's bag, right? To make sure, so he won't say he missing something, right? But he forgot he threw it in the bag. So when they came for them, they checked that bag and he forgot. And then come to find out, they find something. And he was like, man, my heart just dropped because I literally forgot I put it in there. P. Diddy didn't tell me to. I did it on my own because I found it in his room. And I'm just trying to make sure he keep his stuff together, basically. That's what he was basically saying. And mind you, how you be a drug mule when you only got enough for personal use? And make it so bad, though. Now, here's how you know they're doing what they're doing because he's a millionaire, probably a billionaire, whatever, a black elite, whatever. You know, when you get caught with a certain amount on you, you can literally say, I do drugs. And what they do is they're going to put you into a rehabilitation program or whatever the case may be. Like you got to take classes. That's what they end up making the mule do, right? And he got off, right? Am I lying? When them drug dealers get caught with drugs on them, and it's not enough to say I'm it's distribution. Don't they just go ahead and say, look, I do crack? Yeah, they go ahead and say, look, I smoke crack. It's better than saying I sell crack. All you got to do is just say you smoke crack. And look, I got enough for personal use, and this was mine, and I was going to smoke it. I need help, judge. And they let you off. They just make you go to a drug program. What they do? Give you probation in the drug program? Yeah, that's what they do. I ain't tripping. So yeah, you said that pink cocaine, that ketamine. And mind you, they keep talking about some, oh, he got Cassie on drugs. No, Cassie drug of choice was ketamine, pink cocaine, 2C, way before she met P. Diddy. And I'm like, yeah, but yeah, Tissa's hurt because she really wanted to go her way and her subscribers' way because she had a vision or image of this man without actually seeing the facts as they were. That's why a lot of times you got to get your feelings out of certain stuff. Stop being rage baited and stop working on feelings alone. You got to work on logic. You say, yep, it's better to go from being a drug dealer to being a drug user. Hell yeah. You know how many drug dealers then you know how many people I know around my old way who got off with that? Because they ain't had no real weight. They was corner dealers. Oh my goodness. Tell me why. Oh my God, Lex. Why did you do that right underneath of me? I know you smell it. My fur baby farted right underneath of me, y'all. He decided to lay underneath of my feet because I'm in the high chair and decided to pass gas right underneath of me while I'm sitting here talking about it. Like, what in the hell? What in the helly? Like, really? Like, why? I love you. Bobby, I love you. But no. Like, Lex is a menace. My baby is a menace to society. Okay? So, but that's what she does. She literally takes on these things and she's not looking at it from a logical space. She's taking on the conspiracy side. She's taking on the woman's suffrage and shit. All types of stuff. So when she's talking, it comes off as bias, and the whole time she likes salacious stuff. And if you actually get one of those popular tarot readers and stuff, they're going to give you that salacious shit. They're going to talk about the Illuminati. They're going to talk about, oh, P. Diddy was doing magic to get him out of jail, and he pissed off the elites and stuff like that. She on that wave, okay? And he's doing witchcraft to get him out of jail. And yeah, that's your dog way of saying that he loves you. Okay, trying to insult my nose is telling me you love me. Just passing gas. Don't give a damn. Don't care. He don't pay no bills around this motherfucker. Him and Bobby, him and the cat, just be all around this motherfucker. They don't pay no bills. They live a life of luxury and stuff. They don't do nothing but sleep, eat, and use the bathroom and relax. They don't do nothing. I'm scared that if I ever get robbed, knocked on wood, they just gonna look and be like, girl, what you gonna do about it? I need them to stand up. I need them to get jobs, okay? I'm tired of buying food. I'm tired of being their personal housekeeper, their personal nanny, all that. They need to arise. Get a job, Lex. Get a job. Yes, you. Get a job. They're going to sit beside me again. But that's what Tisa Tell is on. So they wanted to know. Okay, so they wanted to know the people outside was chanting about how she's lying, and they was like, grab her by her wig, take the wig. And then they noticed that she was behind the ropes, right? And they was like, well, how did an influencer get behind the ropes? That don't happen unless you got contacts and you know somebody. And I want to know. So now they're saying that she was working with the feds, right? So she got some type of fed ties. So they was like, oh, you said start a pet channel so they can earn their keep. I should. But then they're going to be boring. The only thing Bobby is going to do, Bobby harasses me when she feels like it. Like, you know what Bobby does? She tries to attack me. She pounces on me. She bites my leg. She nibbles on my leg and stuff. And then you have Lex over here. Lex act like a big baby. And then he likes to try to mimic Bobby because he sees me giving Bobby attention. So now he got to do what Bobby do. So he think that he can like go in, because Bobby was sit there and try to scratch my head while she's on the steps, and she'll go in between the bars. So Lex want to go in between the bars behind Bobby, but your head too big for that. So you end up hitting yourself in the head. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know. My animals are something different. Look, but yeah. So I want to know. That's the real tea. I want to know: is Tisa really a plant? Is she an op? Is she getting information from the feds? You know what? You got the Emperor and you got the Queen of Pentacles. Whatever man she's attached to, whatever Emperor this is, gives her certain stuff, gives her certain privileges, right? It's helping her a bit, right? I mean, well, it's not all about what you know. Obviously, she don't know everything, but it's about who you know. So it's somebody of some type of status that helps out Tisa Tells. It really is. It really is. Okay. Got the Ace of Cups in the back. Yes. Someone of some status is helping her to check out in some type of way. But when I be looking at her pictures and stuff, I wonder what she does outside of YouTube, because she travels. It looks like, you know, she be on the influencer wave. You see her in different countries and stuff. All types of stuff. So I be wondering. I seen people with pouring baby oil on themselves outside in the courthouse. Yes, I'm gonna get on that too. So Armand Wiggins, right? You know Armand Wiggins, oh my nigga. So he's been catching the vibe and the wave, and you know, he's been catching a lot of clout, you know, with his coverage of the P. Diddy trial. And I mean, everybody been listening to Armand, okay? Celebrities and everything else like that. The way he's been breaking it down has been so entertaining, right? So it's a no-brainer that people at the courthouse, outside the courthouse, is going to know who Armand Wiggins is. He's been going viral, okay? You got Coco from SWV. I believe that's SWV that was singing his little jingle. You got different stuff. You got kids singing it. You got people boyfriends, repeating what he's saying, stuff like that. He coined the phrase more oil, more oil. He was like, more oil, more oil. He was like, are you oiled up today? You not oiled enough, boo. More oil, boo. More oil. I was like, yes. I was like, The way Armand Wiggins was explaining stuff, I was sitting here like, F it. Me and my hubby got to do the same thing. So I didn't have the baby oil. What I had was the cocoa gel. I had like the little gel, the body gel, right? And it was like cocoa butter scent, right? So I was like, yeah, but it's greasy. It's like oil, right? So, but it's not the baby oil, right? So I was like, yeah. So I was trying to get into the whole freaky licky with my husband. So he was asleep and his shirt was off, right? So he laying on the bed and this shirt off. And I was like, yeah, more oil. And I started rubbing it in. I was like, it rubs the oil on the skin unless it gets the hose again. I was like, you like that? And he was like, what the hell is you doing? I was like, well, our mom was like, more oil. I was trying to get my freak on. I was trying to see what was the whole thing with the baby oil. And I was like, well, maybe I needed baby oil. Because I'm like, well, damn, it must be something new. I'm trying to find something new. Well, apparently it worked because within those months, the bitch got knocked up. So something happened. That Silence of the Lambs. Yes, it rubs the oil on the skin unless it gets the hose again. Bitch, the hell? I pulled out my inner Buffalo Bill girl. But it must have worked. I'm trying to tell you, it must have worked. You're gonna have to try that oil, right? Yeah, so it was a whole big thing, right? So of course the people that know him for his content is going to be out there as well. So basically when they see him and stuff like that, they was like, oh, my Wiggins. And they was like, more oil, right? So it was this guy that had the baby oil, right? Now, mind you, one of his stunts that he had on his channel when he was doing the recap and stuff of the trial, he come out and he get oiled up. You know what I'm saying? He get oiled up. So the dude at the trial had the baby oil and he was like, more oil. So basically he started oiling down Armand Wiggins, right? So they was doing it. It was a kiki, and then other people chimed in and was doing it too, right? So that's not really Armand Wiggins' fault. That was his fans' fault. Right, but then they got on the shade room, and then you got people like Conscious TV and them. They want to sit there and pretty much scold him. Oh, it's a time and a place. Oh, it was uncouth. It was this. It was that. Really, that was the fans, right? So people who know who he was and stuff, they knew exactly what was going on because it was going on the live and on other people's lives and stuff. So it was crazy. Right? But speaking of Armand Wiggins, I like him too. He's a tarot reader as well. A lot of these. Have y'all realized that one of the two major people covering the trial are also tarot readers? Oh. Wow, that's interesting, right? But Tisa Tells is a hot mess, right? But what I can say is at least she was really, really hoping that he lost. All right. So she was at least down. She at least believed what she was trying to put down. But this is what I'm going to say. Next time, y'all got to look past the other shit. stop leading with emotions, okay? Because if you took out the domestic violence and all that other stuff, like that he wasn't even being charged with, and you just look at the facts of some stuff and you listen to the story, because mind you, I've been told y'all, Jane Doe, aka Daphne Joy, was a hoe. Okay? She's a hoe. Stop playing, stop sugarcoating. She was a hoe. Okay? Not only that, she ain't even start getting beat on until her ass decided to start beating the shit out of P. Diddy. Yeah, she started looking at Cassie lawsuit. That shit started sounding fire, right? And she said, well, shit, if she can get to 20 mil, shit, I can get a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So shit, why she get a new car? Why Cassie got to get a new car? You know? Yeah. So she was like, yeah, I'm gonna just start some shit. That's the fuck she was doing. I'm gonna just start some shit with this motherfucker. So she decided to bash his head on that marble counter. Right? So you decided to provoke a fucking domestic abuse monster. He wasn't just gonna slap you, bitch. You thought it was just gonna be a slap? No, you provoked Ike. Ike ain't just slapping. Ike putting foot to ass and dragging and shit. And I'm supposed to feel bad because you provoked Ike. He ain't never put his hands on you until you decided to knock his head in between the washer and the dryer. You decided to do that and then call him a pedophile. All because he was dating a woman that was younger than him but was of age. She was 18, but of course, she wanted to call him a pedophile, a freak, all types of bullshit, just antagonizing the motherfucker. But I'm supposed to sit here and say that Jane Doe is the fucking victim of getting her ass beat after she asked for it? No, the fuck not. I mean, how? That's just like, I find out that Hannibal. I'm messing with Hannibal Lecter, right? Fill me out. And you know, Hannibal Lecter, he has amazing taste and he's very articulate and he's a genius, right? So I'm hanging out with him and we've been going to the best art exhibits, the best operas, the best restaurants. He's been showing me things I have never seen before. You know, we're going on cruises, like whatever. We're going to different estates and stuff, and everything is all good. Even though I'm not the main girl, I'm just happy to be here, okay? And then I find out what he is. And I found out that somebody else got some money for it. A victim got some money for it, right? I would be stupid as shit to be like, well, shit, I can get something for that. Let me provoke Hannibal Lecter. Let me go ahead and tell him how I really feel about him because I know what he be doing. Let me provoke Hannibal Lecter. Now, I'm going to provoke him. I'm going to call him, that's why you eat people. And this, that, and the third. And you're stupid. Right? And then put my hands on him. How can I be mad when he decided to give me a sedative and tried to drill some shit in my motherfucking head and eat my fucking brains? How the fuck am I going to be mad at that? I'm supposed to exit stage left quietly, peacefully. Leave on good terms so he can still pay my bills. But from a distance or some shit. I'm supposed to leave. I'm not supposed to provoke his ass and stay. No. So that's Jane Doe's fault. And if that sounds like a victim statement, I don't know what the fuck y'all want from me because I'm just telling y'all the truth. Secondly, she was a happy hooker. Okay. And that hurt the case too. And then another thing that I don't understand that happened in this situation is that the people wanted to strip away accountability from these women. Here's the truth, right? How can you be pro-women, but you want them to remain weak? It always has to be, I could not defend myself. I couldn't leave. I was trapped. I was like a moth to the flame. I was a rat in a cage. I was a rat on a trap. Why do we always have to be damsels in distress, right? I don't think life works like that all the time. And I think if we're going to be pro-women, we have to give women their autonomy, right? We have to give women their strength, their power to say no, okay? When, like, for instance, they wanted to say Cassie was so young. Cassie wasn't goddamn that young to know what's what. Cassie allowed someone to pee in her mouth. No one forced her to let someone pee in her mouth. That was on her. Okay? That was on her. I don't care what nobody says. That was on her. With Jane Doe, she was the one that was coming up with all-star free goals. She wanted all the big D dudes, the big D, the BBC dudes, big black dudes that she liked to all come together and run a train on her. Matter of fact, to some, that's sexually liberating. That's you pushing the envelope, taking control of your pleasure, your sensations. If you want one in each hole, God bless you. That's your choice. But no, we want to say she was, this couldn't have been. She was forced. She wasn't forced to do that shit. She ain't come up with, Diddy ain't come up with that shit. She did. And they was messing with these dudes on the low behind Diddy's back. They were still keeping relationship with these entertainers behind his back. It's a lot. I mean, child, I can go on and on about why Diddy end up only getting what he got. And technically, look, and about females and about having autonomy and being held accountable of one's own decision. If you want to be pro-women, you have to allow them to be accountable too. You have to allow them to make the choices that they make, right? You can't, hey, cultivate with Kai. Oh wow, you got a minute? You got a minute? I'm just talking mess. You got a minute? I'm gonna put my link down. You said just stopping by. Hey, okay, so I know Cultivate with Kai from the Black tea sector, right? I don't even think he ever seen me without my avatar. But that's crazy. But look, I put the link down just in case you want to talk about it. But meantime, give me 1 second. If you want to hit the link, go ahead and hit it. Give me 1 second while I let my dog Lex outside because he is bothering me. Like I said, he don't pay no goddamn bills around this motherfucker. Okay? But he want me to do everything. Every motherfucking thing. Everything in the world he wants me to do. Now I gotta let him outside. Like look, at this point, you need to grow another digit and open the door on your own. Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead. And leave me alone. Go ahead and do not knock back on this door. Do not knock on my door. But yeah, I'm like, do not knock on my door because that's what he wants to do. He wants to sit here and go in and out. And then he wants to, after he's outside for like 3, 4, 5 seconds, he wants to bang on the door. Whatever. But back to what I was saying, if we're going to be like pro women, we need to allow women to make choices about what they want to do and what they don't want to do with their body. And you have to hold them accountable. Okay, that's how I really feel. All right, hold them hoes accountable. That lady let somebody pee in her mouth and she let them. Right. Not only that, she instructed an entertainer on how to do it. She said, "Don't do it fast. You have to do it slow and do it a little by little to let it sprinkle." That means she been doing this. Like, do y'all see what I'm saying? She already been on ketamine. She already been moved. The only thing that she was a real victim of is the abuse. It's the physical abuse. But really, and this is going to sound like I'm victim blaming, but I am not. She was a victim of her own choices because she never had to stay with Diddy. Y'all talk about, it was her contract and stuff like that. But in fact, Let me see if it'll come on stage, because you know my stuff be acting crazy. Kai,
Hey, Dazzle.
are you on stage? Yeah, you know what's freaking crazy.
I know street be acting up.
Yeah, on my stream, y'all, I can never see the other. I never see the other person.
I get it. I definitely get it.
So I know you here. We can hear you, but I just can't see you.
Right. It may be the layout, but that's okay. I don't mind. Oh, it's good to talk to you. It's good to see you, Dazzle. Oh, this my.
Oh, you going in and out.
Do I need to change the new to?
I think that's on your side, though. It sounds like you muzzle, and then I hear you, and then I don't hear you. Well, everybody, this is Kai, Cultivate with Kai. Please follow his channel. He is actually fun to listen to. He talks about hot topics in the tea sector. If you want to hear somebody drag Jaguar, right here, do a little bit of dragging. He used to be one of on Jaguar's team for a bit, and then he's seen the light, and then he's been up ever since. But I don't know. I hope Kai's on mute right now. So yeah. But here you go. Here's my damn dog. Here is Lex back tapping on the door. You know what? I'm not doing this with Lex. Kai, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Hold on.
Lex, who is not going in the out no more? I'm putting you in timeout. No. Because now you messing with stuff. I'm not chasing my dog around. You said gang stalk God. What's next? A celebrity freak off? Oh. What's next? A celebrity freak off? Oh, they should have a celebrity freak off now. He should get out and just have one big old freak off. Everybody's touching on everybody. More oil, more Astroglide. More, what else they had? They had rhino pills. They had blue dolphin pills. They had Obama pills. They had pink cocaine, regular cocaine. Whatever ski slope you wanted to be on, they had. So, hey, let me get my baby. Okay, you acting up. You was acting up. Go ahead. You was acting up. Not today, Satan. Not today. Man, as soon as I was about to be on a road talking mess, all of a sudden, here's my baby. Now he wants to mess with the cases of water. He was trying to pull a case of water out. Child, he was just crazy. But yeah, they should do a big celebrity freak off. Welcome home freak off. They should have everybody.
They planned it. I just seen Phase on talking about something. That's what Diddy gonna do when he come home. We gonna throw a big old free concert in the park type situation. What we need to figure out is if this fool is gonna be on going down for them 20 years or what. God damn it. But I do think that they are going to let him out, maybe make him pay a little bail money. But right now they denied the bail as of now. But I think
they denied the bail, and you know what they did? You know what they did? Now this is a little sneaky, and I don't, because what they doing is they low key just use not low key. That's what the judge said. The judge said, because you admitted that your client was domestically abusive to Cassie, and you admitted that he was an abuser, how can he be a safety to the community and Cassie if he gets out? Right? Ooh, he back on. Oh, let me see something. Let me go and do this. Hello?
Okay.
Yeah.
Testing. Yeah, I'm on my laptop. Okay.
I can do now.
So I don't sound. Oh, am I echoing? Hold on. Let me exit out my pad.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you might have to do. Miss Waverly Cake says his sentencing is on October 3rd. That's a long time from now. But you know what's crazy though? They may not give him that much time. And by the time October 3rd come when he is sentenced, you know, a lot of that time he's been in this whole time could be time served. So, but how they did him was that basically they're still pretty much trying to punish him for Cassie, right? So Cassie and her stylist wrote letters saying that, oh, he's a danger and this, that, and the third, and he never faces any accountability or anything for what he does. So basically they're keeping him. But what he's really being locked up for now and being guilty of is transporting hoes, male prostitutes. So technically, the flued out culture is dead. Okay? So all you guys,
I've been seeing that. People have basically been saying they're giving a new name to what trafficking is. I definitely consider what he was doing, holding his rendezvous, his snafus against their will, you know, at times, but at times, like the evidence has shown, they wanted to freak off. They wanted to get down, but to get down at times. Not at the times when, you know, he was acting out off his rocker, busting people, you know, pistol whipping them, hitting them in the face with elephant trunks and shit. If you know, you know, stuff like that. But, allegedly, but they say the brother got the Tootsie Roll Pop, whatever they call it. But long story short,
messed up though. Now I'm gonna stop you though. Now
talk to me, Dazzle. Talk to me.
Okay, so Cassie was saying he got a Tootsie Roll, but then I'm gonna ask you this though. So if he got a Tootsie Roll, that time when she claimed that he just, because this is what happened. How's it going, Kai? Oh, Polly right here.
Hey, Polly. I hope you don't mind. I'm streaming simultaneously.
Oh, cool. You know, I'm usually on the low key, but I'm so cool if you want to stream up. You know, you want to do that. Man,
yeah, so more people.
Yeah. So hey, I don't care.
Talk to me. Good, get in, go in. Hey, EJ.
Hey, so no, but listen to this though, right? Imagine this: some Diddy just knocked down your door, come in your house, right?
Let's give context that he has been paying for, but that doesn't take away that doesn't mean he allowed to knock down your door and smack.
No, I'm not talking about Jane. No, I'm talking about Cassie. Cassie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She was with Alex Fine. Right? So imagine this. One day, Diddy just woke up in your house, kicking your door, woke up in your house and rapes you. Says nothing, leaves. That's what she said. Says nothing, leaves. Short time later, probably like a couple of days, a week or two later, you get to call him on the phone and you find it appropriate to go out with him, right? And then you also find it appropriate to have sex with him. And while you're having sex with him, Alex Fine, your boyfriend, is FaceTiming you. Was that a choice? Kai? Kai, you on mute.
Oh, Lord, I'm sorry. Oh, Lord, that is, to answer your question, that is a choice. That is a choice, and that makes it questionable about, I don't want to question her psyche, but it does make you question some things. Like, why would you go? To answer your question, it is a choice. It's a choice. Hey, Polo Princess, aka D's3. She was given a little Polly. Yeah. That's what. What was the lady in question's name again? To give them context.
Cassie, that's what she Cassie testified to that on cross-examination. So basically, in Cassie's lawsuit that she was going to have her civil suit, she put in that moment, that time where he came into her house unannounced and whatever and raped her and just left her just lying there, right? But what she didn't talk about was the fact that she came back She ended up talking to him on the phone and decided to meet up with him, go out with him, have a beautiful day with him, because that's what she texted him. She said she had a good time with him. And they ended up having sex, and Alex Fine was actually FaceTime calling her during that time while they were having sex. So that's for one. And then I also think and then it's not even victim shaming, it's just being honest. And I think that a lot of females, if you're in a situation where you're dealing with Alex Fine, right, and you're coming from an abusive situation, Alex Fine hates P. Diddy. So why would you sit there and look at your man in the face, right, and be like, look, I cheated on you with P. Diddy twice? You would never do that. So the first time you are going to say, when it happened, right, the first time you are going to say something else other than how it actually happened, right? So I don't feel like he took advantage of her. I feel like they had consensual sex twice.
It is complex. At some point in time when she went back to him, obviously she must have been conflicted in who she wanted to be with. I would say this, her now husband, Alex Fine, looking back and listening back on this, obviously he's going to feel betrayed, and the emotions are all rekindling in her mind and in his mind, and she's probably in fear at this moment in time. But I still have to stick to my initial thoughts. You do not mix business with pleasure at any moment in time. You don't do that. And as the mother's it was the mother's duty to express that, baby, you don't do that. You have to draw the line in the sand, because things can get ugly. I'm not saying her trauma and her abuse was justified because she got in a relationship with her boss or whatever. I'm just saying you have to protect yourself and put the boundaries up. Thank you, these three. I'm doing a quick collab with my girl Dazzle. So this is a impromptu live, and I appreciate y'all for stopping by. And I love this conversation. We need conversations like this. We're not trying to bash, blame, or do any of the sort, but we got to talk about the evidence that is at hand. And this was at hand. So what was you saying, Dazzle? I didn't mean to talk over.
Okay. And just to be real, I'm going to tell you guys, because I'm very honest on my channel.
Trigger warning.
I was in a domestic violence situation, right? And even with Cassie was never actually legitly his girlfriend, right? They just had a thing with each other that was a bond, and they were kind of like what did you call, not protective, but when you feel like this is your property or something, they was like that towards each other. And at one point, because she was the other woman to Kim Porter, okay.
Right. I would call it a situationship.
Yeah, so I was in a situationship that felt like a relationship that was not a relationship, and there was domestic violence in it, and there was sexual abuse in it.
My goodness! And, I'm sorry you had to experience that.
I'm glad I experienced that, because guess what? Ain't nobody else gonna treat me like that.
Right? You can learn from it. The signs. Yes.
So what I ended up doing was, by the end of it, now mind you, I'm only hard on Cassie because I actually kind of did a Cassie. You know how she stopped talking to Diddy and then started talking to Alex Fine, the person that she ended up marrying.
Yeah.
That happened.
But Dazzle, how could you? But some might say, Dazzle, how could you hold her feet to the fire when you experienced that
first? Because you know what? I have a big family of women and men, right? I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting to it. I'm gonna tell you how it happened, and it made me realize a lot of stuff. And I'm like, well, as pro women, we do have to hold each other's feet to the fire to an extent. Not what happened to you, but to an extent, right? Because I ended up meeting my husband by dumping my situationship, right? Period. Right? So what ended up happening was he decided, because he had a narcissistic rage, he decided to go on Facebook, call me all types of hoes and sluts and the whole nine, angry ex don't want to let go, want to treat you like shit, but don't want you to leave. That type of stuff.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
basically, when I was done, I was like, I ain't got time to talk to you. Ain't never looked back, right? But my folks seen it because he edited me, right?
Mhm.
So both my grandmas and my uncles and my great aunts had a long conversation with me. and they was pretty much, I'm laughing about it because I'm not in it no more. You can laugh about stuff. A lot of times I laugh, right? So pretty much they understood what I was going through as far as the abuse and stuff. But also that accepting certain shit that you don't have to accept, that part was on me too. I didn't have to accept.
I love how you are taking accountability for what you partook in, and I love that for you. Do you think that? So let me ask you
certain things
do
I
you
did.
think that?
I cannot say like the first time it could have been coercion, but all the other time I wasn't coerced.
Right. When you chose, okay. So let me ask you this: when you chose to go back, it wasn't that you were. Do you still believe that you were under the coercion spell, or do you believe that you made a decision, just like Cassie made a decision,
I made a
to
decision
still
based on
partake?
childhood trauma. I made a decision
Okay.
based on
Yeah.
childhood trauma. You can have a childhood trauma response in your relationships or your situationships. So basically, I had an issue with people. First of all, I don't have to keep explaining myself to the world, right? And I used to explain myself a lot to people that I didn't need to explain myself to. So I find myself explaining and stuff, and I never had to explain shit. You're not even my real boyfriend. That's for one. For two, I found myself wanting to be liked, right? And I had to figure out I don't have to be liked by everybody, right? And then I also had like an abandonment issue. So I was stick beside somebody who I know ain't shit, and everybody's telling me he's treating me like shit, and I'm agreeing, yeah, he's treating me like shit. But I have this abandonment complex. And then I also felt like, well, I want this. It was a bit of competition because he was still messing with his baby mama. So now I'm competing with his baby mama. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff was my choice. Some of it was.
Yeah.
And then I look at Cassie's situation and I can pinpoint what was her choice. She was competing with Kim Porter. Why are you competing with Kim Porter?
Because that's how Diddy played into her mind.
But you never had to. But is that his? Here's my thing, though. Because at the end of the day, we have our own minds, too.
True that.
So my whole thing is, and it's not me like being a victim shamer. It's just that I just kind of really feel like at some point you yourself was a part of the circus willingly at some point. And it's okay to say, yeah, I was a part of the circus willingly at some point. It's okay to say that. Even though the circus was some bullshit.
Yeah, because where was she gonna? And it's not like she fought to finish her album deal, baby. How you only gonna do one album? Be a one-hit wonder and don't finish what you signed on the dotted line to do. Although that's how you got. That's where people are also taking in consideration. Did she really go in there to do music wholeheartedly? Was that her passion, or was she using it as a leg up? And ultimately,
that ultimately one of those people who wanted to be in multiple industries, because she was a model, right?
Right.
What's his name? And they got a song. She wanted to start working on music and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So she started doing that, and then, mind you, she was still messing with that guy that was older, right? When she decided to start
right. I forgot that man's name. She was attracted to older men, and that could be a trauma response as well. Some might argue.
Yeah. Daddy issues, to be honest. Yeah, just keeping it a stock. It can be something like that, right? Because they tend to say that you date you date people with attributes of your father. Like if you're a female and if you're
Yes,
a
that
male,
is a fact.
like date people with attributes of your mom.
Yes, if you're a guy. Yep.
And then if
I
you're
have heard
climbing
that
up the
before.
social ladder, because that's what she was doing, she stopped talking to him to talk to P. Diddy. Look what P. Diddy had to offer over the other guy, right? So, and then to the point where she really wanted to climb it, and that's not me being whatever, because if you young, you in the game, you in the industry, you trying to get everything the industry has to offer for you. Hey, I'm like, go for it, man. Climb that social ladder. Do whatever you got to do. I am not hating you for that, right? But she did sit there and create a fake flyer of saying that she had an appearance in Miami. Remember that?
I do.
She created a fake flyer, had that man thinking that she was out in Florida, doing an appearance and working. Whole time she was working on that yacht with P. Diddy.
Well, Cassie was zipping and doing it. You know what they like to say, what they like, just like Diddy was zipping it and doing it. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a situation. It definitely was a situation that I definitely think that Cassie regretted towards the middle and towards the end.
Yes, I think she did too.
But she did, and even in that message, hey Trip, what's going on with you? Good to see you. Salute to you.
Hey,
and I do.
guys.
She truly regretted it. She at some times she regretted it, and at some times she wanted to freak off, just like the messages said. She was ready for a freak off. So I would definitely say that Diddy had his sinister moments, but we have to choose. You just like you say, you got to take accountability to what we go back to, especially after we're done wrong and we have autonomy at times. Some might argue that Cassie had autonomy at times, and she didn't take advantage of the autonomy that she did have when she had it. Because some might argue she was trying to get a leg up, and some might argue she didn't know no better. She didn't have any place to go. But when you're making royalties and you making money for yourself,
hey, when you out there, you out there. I mean, shit. When in Rome, do what Romans do. I think that's what she was doing. When in Rome, do what Romans do. And but the only thing that tripped me out and was kind of telling, and I think that really did play, I really do, because honestly speaking, the jury are everyday people like me and you. So when someone tells you after
they said the jury wasn't cooperating.
Yeah, because they was conflicted on a lot of stuff, right? Because the truth is you have the sex thing, but is it really Rico? Is it really racketeering? If you really look at it, is it really racketeering? But that's what they was being confused.
By the definition, by definition, no.
So that's what they were being confused about, right? So they was really confused about count one, which is the Rico, the conspiracy to commit Rico. They was really fighting over that, which means that a lot of them was like, nah. And some of them was like, yeah. So that's what they were truly fighting over, count one. But to be honest,
well, I by the definition of racketeering, they said a criminal enterprise that uses illegal means to generate profit, often involves a pattern of criminal activity such as extortion, fraud, bribery, or illegal acts carried out by an organized group. It's debatable. It's definitely debatable because some might say that Diddy used his enterprise, his group. I'm not going to say he had illegal funds because Diddy already was established and accomplished by the time he met Cassie. So he could have used the money in his damn savings account. But they did use evidence that he used people from his team to
do certain stuff.
Do certain things, So it's definitely debatable.
Because they didn't hit him with the full charge. They hit him with conspiracy. And if it's going to be a conspiracy, that means people have to know what they're doing. They have to be in cahoots with the criminal enterprise. That's what they were saying as well. So I'm like, well, did people just sit down and say, I'm going to do something that I know is illegal today? Did people sign up for that? I don't think they did.
No, yeah, in that part. I think it was very impromptu. Sometimes it was impromptu, but Diddy obviously had these things premeditated. But the people, after a while, if you're already on contract, you can't just say, hey, I'm not doing it. You are on contract to do certain shit, and you don't want to breach your contract. So it doesn't necessarily mean it was, a conspiracy to all, they knew what they were signing up to do, produce certain stuff for the freakos. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what killed me though? What killed me is when Jane Doe, Daphne Joy, was telling him she don't want to do this and don't want to do that. She don't like the freakos, whatever, woo woo. And then turn around and one day go with her friend, what was it, to Vegas? And go to it was a birthday party. They went to the strip club. Then they went to the hotel, and it was a suite. And inside the suite, they were having a freak off. And then not only that, she actually referred one of her entertainers to them. And then not only that, she neglected on cross-examination. It was found out that she was with that freak off too. She was showing her titties and everything. That kind of tripped me out a little bit. So I'm like, well, how the hell you don't like freak offs, but it seemed like you had a good time at that freak off that day?
Lord, see, but I heard that the daughters didn't want Jane Doe number 2 on there.
And then also think about it too. How the hell? I mean, because you're gonna have to look at the freak off tapes, right? That's what the jury they had to do. They was watching those tapes, those tapes. And
I know they was traumatized.
They was watching them, and you know what's crazy? Now this is how it works against the prosecutors. If I'm watching the tape and you guys are telling me, no, I didn't want it. It was so forced, right? And you're watching these freak off tapes and they riding it like a stallion. They got one in the mouth, riding and everything, twirling and that shit. All types of shit.
Giving that throaty bodie. That throaty bodie and that Gawk 3000.
Like, here, right here, daddy, right here. Hold on. Smack my face. Give me a shower, baby. Give me a shower. And they watching that and looking at you, telling them that it was forced, and they're watching this, and then
Ashley was picking the brothers out like catalog motherfuckers.
And they was lining them motherfuckers up. Don't lie. Them hoes was lining them up.
Wait a minute. How you feel about the ex-escort, the Punisher, saying his testimonial helped Diddy beat sex trafficking charges? Justice was done.
Okay. So what you talking about? Freezer meat, right? The one that.
Oh Lord, that's what y'all nicknamed him.
That's what he nicknamed. That's what he named his book. I mean, he came out and said he was talking about freezer meat because he couldn't stay up. So he got
with that freakiness. See, I'm not with that freakiness. I
was in this case real close. He said he got
know nothing about no freezer
to keep it hard, and now he coming out with a book called Freezer Meat.
Man, listen. Anyway, they could capitalize off some shit. It's the shock value. It's for the shock value of it all. I get it. I think that's what they call him. His name is Sheree Hayes. He agrees with the jury's verdict in Diddy's federal trial and believes the testimonial played a role in the outcome.
Yeah, it did. did. And then a lot of them was getting caught up, you know. And then whole time, isn't it funny how most of the witnesses for the prosecution was Cassie's friends?
Say that again.
Most of the witnesses that was giving testimony for the prostitution. I mean, I said prostitution. Prosecution. God. Prosecution was actually Cassie's friends. What? And they were talking to each other before, during, and after the trial. They were not supposed to be conversing about the case during the trial and stuff like that. They were still on the phone talking to each other.
I heard that one of the women that came to testify, I don't know if it was Dawn or not, I believe it was her, that her and Cassie, they ain't really cool no more. Okay,
I'm gonna tell you. One of the women, Mia, right? Mia didn't say it. Now, so this is some of the inconsistent stories, right, that happened. Mia said that Diddy raped her 3 times, right?
Oh my God. Trigger warning, y'all. Trigger warning.
Because I'm gonna keep it honest. I mean, I don't have no cut cards. Look, she said he raped her 1, 2, 3 times, right? The first time was his birthday. He put his hand up her dress, right? She let it go because she thought, well, he was just having a good time and it's just fun. It was just him being drunk or intoxicated or high, and it was just fun, right? So we're just going to let it go. That's what she thought. Then the second time, those times, she was in the employee part of the home or whatever. She was asleep on her bunk bed and she woke up and he was on top of me. How he died? On top of me. He was on top of me.
You know what? Don't do that, Dazzle.
And I just froze in fear. That's what she said. She was frozen in fear. And he was just riding her like Mr. Okay? You know how Mr. used to come in on Miss Seeley? And he told her, you better not tell nobody but God.
Dazzle, I ain't finna do this with you. You know what?
So that's what happened the second time. The Trez. She was in his closet. Now, you know those celebrity closets look like a whole room, right? You know they got the couch and stuff. And she just picking out an outfit for Diddy, right? And she's on her knees in the closet picking out an outfit for Diddy in this big ass closet, right? And all of a sudden she look up and there's this big BBC hanging in front of her. And
not the artificial phallus. Oh my God.
And he said, put it in your mouth. And she put it in her mouth. And she had no choice but to give fellatio until we finished. And he said, well, what happened after that? So did he finish? She said, well, you know, Diddy doesn't do anything halfway through. He got to see it through. That's what she said. But then come to find out, she always had a crush on P. Diddy. And P. Diddy would tell her when they was in an argument one day, oh, I'm gonna tell Cassie what you did. Right? So she was like, I was scared he was gonna tell Cassie that he raped me. Nah. You had sex with P. Diddy on the low and you was sucking his dick in the closet. Don't lie. So basically she got caught up on Mia.
Oh my God.
Then the other girl was actually Cassie's get high buddy. They were friends, okay? They was getting high on ketamine and weed before.
Talking about what about your friends?
What about your friends, right? The other girl that said she was being dangled over the balcony. Right, by her tatas. She said he held her by the tatas and dangled her over a balcony. Now
you sure about this, Dazzle? Because wait a minute. I heard.
Look at it.
I heard she did say she was hung over the balcony. This was in the court documents.
He lifted her up by the tatas. That's what she actually sat on that stand and said. She was high.
Cassie or Mia?
The other girl, not Mia, the other girl. The other girl, the high girl. What is her last name? That bungalow, whatever. The
They
weird.
all was getting high. They was all getting high off Diddy's supply.
Oh, yeah. Before then, she was like, yeah, because, you know, me and Cassie would get high all the time, but Diddy had the good drugs.
I don't mean it.
That's what she said. I'm telling you what she said.
They had the bad bitch. They had that. Oh, Lord.
She said we would get so high that we would want to quit. So they was like, so what would you do to quit? We would cook. Cook? That's how you quit. What was you cooking? Drugs?
Cooking the dope in the crock pot. Smoking the dope in the crock pot.
Bad and bougie. Bad and bougie. Bad and bougie. So, so basically, she said we just get so high. Right? And she said that was the girl that said that Diddy came in out of nowhere with a knife and threw it at Cassie. And she was like, well, what did Cassie? And they was like, well, what did Cassie do? Picked the knife up and threw it back. And they said, well, what was you doing? And she said she was just sitting there. So he just walked up in the house and tossed the knife.
What in the world? Yeah, some of it was a little inconsistent in the
Come on, if you look. Now, what about your friends? Hey, your friends got your back. I'm gonna help you.
Kanye was the only one up there supporting his friend.
Hey, that's because
we didn't even see Stevie J, and that's his good friend. So
but that friend, she was mad because Diddy would get mad at her and be like, look, friends don't let friends get fucked up like that because they get high. Like high. But that was that girl. But that's crazy.
Whatever he was doing, he wanted them to do with him. So he didn't feel bad about getting high.
But see, here's the thing though. Check the scene. When you at the freak off, I gotta tell you though, when you at the freak off, now here's what one of the entertainers said when he was interviewing with Armand. When he came into like the little suite and stuff, you know, they had the little stuff. First of all, I always said this and I always thought this. They ain't gotta put drugs in nothing. I feel like the drugs is out on the silver platter. I feel like it's a waiter that walk around the room and be like, hey, would you like some Coke? Oh, you know, whatever. I feel like that, right?
See, that was the thing of the 70s. See, that was the thing of the 70s anyway. They sure would have that motherfucking Coke.
Yeah, you know, I don't feel like they gotta drug you. I don't feel like that. You know why? Because there's a lot of motherfuckers who's willing and able to do a lot of stuff. And they probably already smoking weed. They already popping E. They already swallowing Molly's. They already smoking weed. They already doing all this. Percocet, Molly Percocet. Okay. So basically the entertainer was like, it was a table of all the drugs of your choice. You want a little Molly, is there. You want some weed, is there. You want some Coke, is there. You know, it was just like a platter.
You know, like I think they should have made Diddy take a mental eval, because I bet you he most likely not to mental diagnose anyone, because I'm not a doctor, but I do think he suffers some type of bipolar or some type of mental illness. Okay, yeah, you think so? That induced it, but no, maybe what? Because some people say he faced a lot of trauma from his childhood, going to that Catholic school, and then 2 years
and
later,
mixed it with drugs.
Yeah, obviously the drug induced it and caused the chemical imbalance to another level, but he may be suffering with something with a chemical imbalance due to the what he's experienced as a child and never got full adequate help about. And his ass needs to chill the fuck out. It ain't no reason why. He already had one motherfucker overdose, so we know his ass like the OD and look at D and bust D and bust people over the head with D's and shit. So he needs to, you know, he just need to take a chill pill. after
No,
this because
I believe you. I think it was a lot of childhood trauma, but you know what I think messed them all up, and it really, and when I mean by that's why the abuse was worse and everything. I feel like it was the drug binges that they were always on. They were on hard drug binges.
I think they embellished on that. I think they embellished on that.
No,
These freak offs could only. I bet they could only last a week. How you a fucking CEO of companies and shit? You working with artists? We talking about in the 2000s, in the early 2000s. He was still working. He wasn't billionaire status. He was trying to do that Sean John shit. He had bread, but he was still working. He was still.
You gotta understand though. Some of that stuff, like if you the boss, if your business is up and running and it's running well, sometimes the business runs itself for a couple of days.
Yeah, I do think that he had like
a real oil machine,
a week or so, but like months on end, like three. But
they wasn't having a freak off for a whole month. It'll last like 72 hours or something.
Then he got kids. Then he got kids. The kids are still small. Too. Like, if you got say that again.
Diddy was
on the uppers. Yeah.
He was always there. You know what the uppers are. So he had his Diddy bag.
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically he always had his Diddy bag with him, his personal bag with him. And he will always be up. Mind you, he gotta do all a lot of times, a lot of like even you know, the white girls, they take a lot of Adderall, right? To stay up.
Yeah.
One of his assistants said that she was hooked on Adderall staying up. She take Adderall.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is they was on uppers. That's why when he crashed, those crashes would last days, and that's why he needed those IVs. Because the come down will be real crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was high all the time, and I think the best thing for him, just for his own life, even though he done a lot of messed up, foul stuff, I think sometimes when people are living on the edge like that, the best thing for you to do is to be locked up. Because it's technically saving you from you. Because if you doing all that, it was only a matter of time before you see rest in peace. Long live Diddy. Rest in peace and stuff because he an OD'd and never came back.
Yeah.
So he he earned his way into jail, in prison for a while. Even if it's just to clear his damn system.
And this probably did help him. He need to concentrate. This probably did help him. But it's the thing is, will he go back to his old ways? When you've been used to and accustomed to some shit, he probably isn't getting doused and done over in that motherfucking prison right now, in that jail right now.
Now, Kai, I'm gonna tell you now, because we've been on here for like almost 2 hours. Now we got to get to the spiritual side, because you know this is a tarot channel.
All right, now.
Do you think? Okay, because here's the thing. I like to see, because I think it's a fad to always talk about the Illuminati and doing blood oaths and stuff like that. I honestly think about things in a different way. Now, we're talking about all these drugs, all this alcohol, mind-altering things, right? You know, a lot of times, like my grandma always tell me there's spirits in alcohol, right? That's why in the white upper class, they don't have the liquor store. They have wine and spirits, right? So you got going on. You're opening yourself up when you're drunk and stuff to different types of spirits. And then you're opening yourself up when you're high too. So do you think a lot of times where he was being overly aggressive and demonically beating on Cassie, was he not like, it could have been like possessed a little bit too. Both of them could have been.
I think that he definitely, did you hear that he had a deity tattooed on him? I don't know what specific deity it was. Yes. So I think that it heightens some things, especially when you already are a narcissist. You're used to getting what you want. You're used to taking and getting anything you need and want at that moment. And all the drugs, the spirits, like you said, those things do occur.
Okay, so the tattoo on his back, I do want to add this though. The tattoo on his back, that particular deity deals with women, right? And you
Mhm.
have a deity that's pro women and you're abusing women that's on your back. So technically, if we're down this road, whatever that was on his back is technically whipping his ass and riding his back.
Right, because most likely he pledged allegiance or gave a pledge of sacrifice, or however they do it, however it's supposed to be said, to that deity. And now you over here going against the grain, if you will, or going against the principles.
Now, then I'm gonna ask you this: if that is the case, though, let's bring it into reality. Everybody got look.
Wait a minute. Oh, go ahead. It's your channel. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna shut. I've been cutting you off, so I'm gonna just put this in, and I'm gonna.
No, this your channel. Damn it, my
I like
fault.
hearing you too.
I do like talking to you as well. Got great convo.
So look, here's my thing though. Let's bring it into reality. A lot of people have angels that mean certain stuff on them and stuff, and they don't live that life.
Right.
If that is the case, can we say that for everybody? Because if you have an angel that's supposed to be a protective angel for the righteous and stuff, and you're not righteous,
well, I think if someone goes to the extent of getting a tattoo on them, it's symbolic to them into a certain way. It's some way, some shape, some form, some fashion. So, yeah. But the deity on his back, I don't know if you're familiar, it's a Haitian spirit called Izili Dantor, and also known as the Black Madonna. It's a significant figure in the Haitian voodoo. It's deeply associated with motherhood, protection, and womanhood. Protector of the marginalized, she is the viewer as a fierce defender, especially a woman and LGBTQ plus individuals.
Then I'm gonna ask you this, right? Because people like to think bad, but I like to put stuff together.
True.
He started trying,
and I don't want to demonize anybody who practices.
No. It's not about the practice. It is about it, but it's not about judging the practice. What I'm saying is,
right
around a certain time in the timeline, Diddy was reaching out for spiritual guidance, right? How do we know he looked up what that deity meant and knew that he wanted to? I need to do a reading on that. Maybe it'd be a separate one, right? So basically, how do we know? And this is just a question, just throwing it out there. How do we know that he didn't want to change? But when you deep in your addictions, it's hard to get out of it, right? So you go to this deity wanting to treat women better. But before you can be purified, you gotta to go through the fire is to be purified. Okay? Because fire is purification. Yeah. So before this deity could work with you, she has to beat your ass on the account of the women that you mistreated. Mind you, Cassie is technically different races, right? So technically some of her lineage was marginalized and things like that. Then you have the other fact of Cassie as a mother. You know what I'm saying? And then also Kim Porter, she's Black, she's a mother. People forget about Misa. Misa was abused, okay? He beat her ass and she was hiding underneath of a car. So how do we know in order to be cleansed, he had to walk through fire, right? And that's just my theory. What do you think? For that deity.
That's a good assessment in theory. I do think that with any type of violation against women or against someone who doesn't deserve something is going to face some type of they're gonna have to pay.
Lady Bridget. Hey, Lady Bridget.
Hey, Lady, what's going on with you? You wait a minute, Dazzle. You need to fix the layout. Try to change, put me up here. I'm trying to see myself. You gotta fix the layout, Dazzle.
I know what the problem is. Let me see something. Let me switch. Let me do this. I think I know what the problem is. Because I've been trying to fix some stuff. I've been trying to do something. Come on, computer live. Let me see.
No, sing the Dazzle.
Let me see something. Let me
Computer.
Let me go to style. What if I go ahead and do it this way? What if that works better? With the little boxes. Maybe it worked better if it was boxes. We look like a box.
That's nice.
Let me see something. It won't change. Oh, damn. It changed the color. But it ain't changed the damn layout. Let me see. Come on now. But see, that's what I don't like. And I be trying to fix it, but I can't fix it unless somebody's on it with me so I can see them. I'm going to have to do a little
Dang. Hold on, let me see.
Let me see something.
Gonna make me hold on. Let me go log into my stream, y'all, so I can show you how to do it. Because I'm gonna see.
Let me see something.
But yeah, go ahead and keep talking.
But yeah,
to this thing.
You know what? Because you cannot see you. I done changed all the colors and stuff. I'm painting with all the colors of the wind, child. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to fix that because every single time I want somebody on here lately, it just won't show the other person. And I'm like, well, damn, have I been alone this whole time? Let me see.
No, I'm right here. No, I don't know why. It should be somewhere like where it got like two boxes. I don't know what they call it.
Okay, let me do this. Let me try to. Oh, I'm gonna try to do this then. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Why is it always something? Okay, I'm gonna cancel that. Not that. That don't work. Okay. What about this?
We gotta do a show together more often.
Yeah, it will be fun. It'll get you off the black tea sector mess because I know you've been over there. But anyway, ooh, that's a sidebar.
Are you in? Oh Lord. Oh, wait a minute. What happened to you, Dazzle? Where you went? Dazzle, where you went? Hey, Danny Lynn, what's going on with your win? Nah, I'm just messing with you. How are Dazzle?
I've been trying to do too much. God said, no, you're not about to talk about. No, okay. So I'm gonna talk about it.
Wait a minute. Hello?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now because I ain't see you. Wait a minute, where you just was. Now it should be two icons. It don't show where you, it don't give you an option where it should be two people.
You know what?
Because I just seen myself. Like where your picture is.
That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Child, look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'll figure that shit out. See, you supposed to be on here. It changed. You supposed to be on here.
Lord, it's all right. We're gonna figure it out another time.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna do a show together again though. But this was an awesome conversation. Keep doing your thing, Daz. I'm gonna keep coming over, talk your shit. Danny Lynn, thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you so much.
How much longer you gonna be doing your show? You gonna
Oh, I'm about to end it at the 2 hour mark. So we got like 5 Yeah, about like 5 minutes, whatever. It's enough to wrap up. Thank you so much, Cultivate with Kai. He is so awesome. Check his channel out. Subscribe to his channel if you're not subscribed. And if you want to subscribe to me, you can subscribe to me too. I'll be doing different types of content and this, that, and the third. And I like going live, and I like talking to y'all, and I like getting y'all point of view. And I just like talking mess.
Oh, that's what I want to ask you. What sector are you in? Because you said I'm gonna get out the black tea sector, and that's what a brother is trying to do, trying to get his breakthrough and break out. Look, talk to me.
Man, look, I am in the tarot reading sector, but I be scooting over to the black tea sector a lot. I be minding y'all business real bad.
Wait a minute. You do the tarot?
Yes, I'm a tarot reader.
Is it a lucrative business?
Actually speaking,
or is it your passion?
Okay, so tarot can be very lucrative. Okay. Mm-hmm. Me, myself, I have my own personal clients. I get clients from YouTube. I get clients in my real life, things like that. So I'm always getting clients behind the scenes, right? So it doesn't really matter for me if I'm monetized on here or not. To be honest, me starting a YouTube channel and being a tarot reader was my hobby and my passion, and I really enjoy it. So, and I'm good at it, right? I ended up being, like, mind you, I was on a psychic hotline called Ask the Answer. So I was on there as a tarot advisor for a minute, and then I jumped off of that because my life is busy. My real life is busy. After I go to work, I don't feel like clocking in to something else. So I end up just keeping my own.
Who you was with? Ask the Ancestor?
Ask the Answer.
Ask the Answer. So do you consider it a passion, or do you just consider it a business?
It's a passion. It's a passion that is lucrative. Money will find you.
Best of both worlds.
Yes, money will find you. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
So, honestly speaking, so how do you like? And just add though, how was your experience in the black tea sector?
It's a it's an anthill. It has its ups and its downs. It has its joys and it has its pains of being in the black tea sector. That's all I could say about it.
Okay, so then I'll ask you this, right? Because what I do notice about the black tea sector, which is a positive, is that you guys actually form communities with each other, like, and you guys use Discord and things like that. You guys build your base, your subscribers and stuff by forming a community. Now, the down part is y'all do tend to sit there and beef and gang bang online.
They do. Some people do.
And it's reminiscent of the beef sector. Now, I used to love the beef sector, right? I used to love my James Caldwell, my my Sean Bradleys and I was all like that. And then I ended up being in the black tea sector, and I was listening to y'all, and it's like a polished version of the beef sector, for real.
Yeah, they be trying.
That's why it's easy for like a VS icon to transfer from the beef sector to the black tea sector. But I do know that you do have a good community going, and honestly speaking, what I also noticed is that
you gotta keep it small over there because they backbite.
Yeah, but y'all share the same subscribers, right?
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah.
So it'd be funny because you see those subscribers in everybody's chat.
Right. That is
so a fact. Like, y'all, it's like a neighborhood.
Right. It is a little neighborhood. But
the fun part about y'all though is that y'all got one of those communities that y'all gonna beef with each other. But I did notice that when some outsiders come in, y'all gang up on the outside.
You know what? That is the beautiful thing about the community in the black tea sector. That is true. When we see a foreigner trying to poach our territory, oh Lord, enemy is on the camp. You better know, you better duck, and you better have your shields up, motherfucker, because we is going to be shooting and going, oh Lord, I need the love on V Goddess. Hey, V Goddess. Hey, yeah.
Oh, it's Hey Danny Lynn. I love me some Danny Lynn. I've been seeing her for a long time.
Danny Lynn be on.
And then I heard Danny Lynn could sing.
Oh yeah, Danny Lynn can sing. I heard she could give OG Patrice a run for her money, but we ain't here to contest. We ain't here to do it.
She ain't been smoking a pack of Newports a day or nothing.
That's the Jag syndrome. She ain't got the Jag syndrome. You know,
she ain't remixing jazz and beatboxing.
No, she don't do that. Danny Lynn, what do you say? Do you say gospel or R&B? Because by the, I be feeling like you be singing, tearing up that eye on the sparrow. What's your genre of choice, Danny Lynn? Because I just heard through the grapevine she could give OG Patrice a run for her money, but that's the topic for another day.
Like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I can sing, I just don't sound good. Okay, I can sing, I just do not sound good. I sound like the best Billy Goat you gonna ever hear.
Wait, she said,
I sing anybody underneath the table. It just won't sound pretty. I mean, it just won't sound good.
Oh, so you saying you got the courage, you got the confidence, but what comes out just ain't. Yeah,
it sound like a freaking chalk going down the chalkboard. but I can say.
Well, at least you're self-aware. That's all.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a Grammy. Yeah. And I'm a rapper, okay? Because like I be playing about this series. I've been shot before, so I'm like 50 Cent. So I'm coming out with a mixtape.
Oh, not 50.
Yeah,
not G Unit.
They call me D Unit. After I got shot, they started calling me D Murder. So I was gonna come out with my mixtape and stuff. I was gonna be like, "Hey, I'm D Murder. I done did things y'all ain't never heard of." I was gonna get out there. I was gonna step out on faith. But y'all not ready for me yet.
Oh,
y'all not ready truly for that woman singing. Y'all not ready for me. Shoot.
Dazzle is every woman.
And Nicki Minaj took all my rhymes. She stole all my lyrics. She stole all my songs.
Wait a minute, what? Lord, not Nicki stole your lyrics.
I'm gonna go on Tasha K and be like, yes, they stole my artistic work.
What type of patents do you pay?
Look, I'm like Picasso, okay? Some people see a painting of a house, but they ain't worried about the stuff surrounding the house and inside the house. Stop. That's how I've been on his crew.
You a fool. Wait a minute. Last question, Dazzle, before we go. How do you receive your readings when you read someone? Do you receive it through your senses? Do you receive it through visions? What do you get spoken to? The spirit come to you? Give us a little context.
Okay, I will tell you the context. Okay, so with me, I am an intuitive reader. Hold on one second. Lex, you are not going outside. I let you outside already. You are not the boss of me. Okay, you are my child. I am not yours. I had to tell my dog that. I'm sorry. But look, so what I do is that I'm an intuitive reader. Okay, so take that on intuition. But the best thing about reading tarot and tapping into your divine, your intuition, your higher self, things like that to relay messages, is that the first thing you need to do is that you need to open up. You need to have fun. Like, how a conversation with me and you, the way I do my readings, I'm having a conversation with you. We're laughing and stuff, and I'm reading you, right? So I'm getting your energy. I'm getting what you want. to know and stuff. And it's kind of like lighthearted. It can be a little heavy if you're asking heavy questions and stuff. But I tend to pull from my crown chakra and stuff like that, you know. But it's just that it comes out. And the more comfortable I am with reading, and you know, because it's about confidence too. That's the biggest thing. You gotta have some type of confidence. So the more comfortable you are, the better. Well, I am, the better my reading. So like I said, when I talk to people like on the phone, like if we're doing phone readings, we're having a conversation like this. And I'm telling you, and I'm someone who's in depth, like especially I would never pull any cards and not tell you what they mean and not tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying. And then when you're in the groove and stuff, you also got to understand that even with tarot, you have illustrations and stuff. And when you pick up on those illustrations, it's kind of like you do tap in. So it really does mix in with what you're talking about and what message you're trying to relay. And then things just start coming out. Like I remember when I first started like reading on YouTube, right? And it was around the time that Cardi B and Nicki Minaj fought, right? They got into it, right? Now, mind you, I had spread 3 cards out and I had Queen of Swords looking at a Queen of Wands, and they were both in the reverse and they was looking at each other. Right? And I said, them hoes gonna fight because if you know what the Queen of Swords is in the reverse, that bitch is gonna curse you out. And if you know what the Queen of Wands is in the reverse, they prone to be someone who curse you out, but also be someone who basically could be a big bitch to you, but could also fight you too. Because Wands is like your movement and stuff. Swords is more like communication, right? So like,
how do you can you detect which one is which? How do you like from left to right?
Come to find out, and you gotta know a bit of astrology too, right? Come to find out, Cardi B was a Libra and Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius. Swords
Libras, okay.
Swords is air signs. Swords is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And Wands is fire signs. Sagittarius, Leo, and what the hell? Aries.
What the hell?
What the hell? Aries, right? So I had looked and I'm like, them girls want to fight. No, the way those two added to
some type of altercation.
It's gonna be something, right?
Yeah.
And when I posted it, it was so many people in my comment section, about like 30 people calling me stupid, don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, whatever. Felt bad, right? And my confidence, I was like, damn, I deleted the video. Do you not know? A couple of days later, there we go.
Why you let them bully you, Dazzle?
And after that, I said, fuck everybody. I got bullied. But that's about confidence. Sometimes you don't know what the hell you saying, because I didn't know they was going right. I mean, I ain't know, but I'm just telling you what it looked like based on what the hell going on in these cards. Somebody gonna get into it.
Right.
Somebody's gonna get into it, right? And
so now, last and final question. So do you you truly believe in the cards and yourself? And most of all yourself?
Yes, because guess what? It's all about when you're reading tarot and stuff, people don't understand that. Like, it's really like guidance in a way, but it's all about tapping into your higher self. And it's giving you confidence, right? Because tarot is nothing but predicting something that could happen based on the route that you're going, right? And how you can try to fix it, make it better, or, you know, any advice you can get to your life. But it's really about self-empowerment. Honestly speaking, like, the from the day I started tarot, reading tarot and oracle, all the way up till today, I will tell you that it really did empower me in a lot of ways. Like, I learned a lot about me, right? Because it's like you get more clear as you get older. It's just like being a doctor or a nurse. You know, you go back to school, you do this, that, and the third. You get better with age. You know what I'm saying? With experience. The more experience you gain, the better you get. It's like a muscle. Your intuitive muscle you're building. So you tend to learn a lot about yourself, and to be more technical, you tend to, I'll be honest, you tend to see things as they are after a while. That makes sense? Like,
wow.
Like
I
you,
never heard no one break it down like that.
like you tend to see things as they are. And the other thing is, if you have a mental illness, or if you're like one of those people who are deep into conspiracy and stuff, you're gonna read like that, right? You're gonna think things are different, right? Because I even taught other people how to read, right? And I found out the hard way that some people are not ready to do that because they don't, like, for instance, right? I know it was this one girl, I was teaching them how to read and stuff, and things are not as whatever as they seem, right? Because for some reason she really wanted to do what I wanted to do. So, I started helping her. And then, one day, because she felt like what I was doing, she couldn't do it how I did it. So now she got to go jump on something else. It's people that's looking for stuff, right? That's looking for something to save them or to answer their questions or whatever the case may be. Mind you, she ended up saying, well, I can't get spirituality right. So let me go ahead on and make a hard left and become a real devout Christian, right? So she started doing stuff like, even though like the devil card, that don't mean like the devil per se. It's a Capricorn. It means deviant behavior, whatever. But she started like picking it apart and putting it where it don't need to be sometimes. And I think a lot of people do that, right? So then she just started calling it evil and da-da-da-da. I'm like, are you serious? But then she started overly judging people. And I'm like, well, God don't want you to judge nobody the way you judging them, knowing that your life ain't right either. Like, you looking at them like that, but they don't see it like that, right? So you got that going on. Then you got the other part where when I first started reading, I'm going to tell you the truth. When you first start reading, sometimes like you put your own opinions in it, right? So for instance, like I used to practice with my dad when I first started being a reader. And he told me one day that when you're reading me, you're not reading me honestly. You're telling me how you feel about me, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? I got defensive. But as I got older and I read my dad, as I got like better and, I progressed, he was like, one day he asked me to do a reading for him and I did it. And he was like, you actually got so much better. Because initially when I first started, he was like, you were judging me. This time, you're just telling me what it is and telling me what I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? You're giving me a polished, legit, honest reading, right? And even with my cousin, like, she wanted to start being a reader. And she's actually good at it, but however, she needs more practice. But I can't tell her that because she gets defensive, right? Because she's in that defensive stage. So at one point, I was like, well, I shoot something at her, right? And basically, I just shot something. I was like, because this is around the time, like last year, my mom had a heart attack and I was going through everything all at once, had a miscarriage and everything else, right? So I was like, well, yeah, I'm not sorry about it because it's lessons, it's things, it's cycles. I mean, it's life, right?
Yes, yes, indeed.
So basically, I just do something at her because we'd call each other on the phone and be like, hey, let's do a reading on this or do a reading on that, right? And then we'll use it to get the gossip too, just having a good little time. So I just asked her, I said, yeah, can you just do a reading on me and tell me what direction I need to go? Like, what is this all trying to teach me? What's the grander things of things? And instead of her, I'm listening to her on the card she pulled. And instead of her, because I didn't read myself already about, whatever cards that she pulled, right? Because she was telling me, oh, I got the Queen of Wands, and I got the World and the this and the that, right? And I'm like, okay, I already know what some of this stuff, what those cards mean. So I get the synopsis of what you about to tell me, right? But she goes left, right? And started telling me how she feel about me. She was like, you think you would know it all, and it ain't about that. I'm like, what the fuck? Bitch, I'm asking you about what I'm supposed to be learning. This like you telling me. I think how the fuck do any of them cards say that shit? Like,
Maybe she felt your energy, Dazzle.
No. I'm asking.
Hey, Marcella.
No, but here's what I'm saying. I knew what those cards were saying, But she's in a phase that she's, like I told
She's
you, that
speaking
she's
from her opinion, just like
judging.
you.
Yeah, she was speaking from an opinion like I was doing when I was first starting. But I know that people get like very sensitive when they're starting something new. And I know that, like, you know what I'm saying? That's just like if you start something, right, and somebody's telling you you might be doing this wrong, you might need to work on that. Some people get sensitive and get upset and don't want to do it no more. And she's one of those people.
They get discouraged. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so instead of me just going ahead and tell her that nigga, that's not what none of those cards mean. You picking up cards and telling me this and this not that. So the whole time I said, well, that's how honest to me, I was like, well, that's how you kind of feel about me. You got some type of resentment towards me, girl. Like, and that led to a conversation later on down the line, but I just let her get whatever she had to get off. Because it sounded like resentment, competition, competitiveness, something I ain't got shit to do with it. I'm gonna ask you about what's going on. But
aren't you supposed to go to someone you don't know, like someone?
No, that don't have to.
It's not rules to it, but I'm saying, isn't like best to go to like someone?
No, it's best to go to someone. Okay, if you're going to go to somebody and if you're going to pay for it, okay, just to be honest, it's best to go to someone who didn't just start.
Right, true.
And so basically, I was dealing with my relative who was just starting at the time, right? Later on down the line, I helped her hone some of those, you know. You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, girl, hold on, wait. But we had to get past that little secret competitive resentment stuff that was going on. And that's what came out for you see what I'm saying? That was her in the beginning. Is she doing that now? No, it's totally different. She's better now. She's getting better. She's stretching those intuitive muscles and stuff. So it takes time. But if you are going to get a reading for somebody, I mean for yourself, you probably don't want to get a reading from somebody who just started a month ago.
Right. Now who's some people that you consider polished people of the of the tarot world?
Okay, for me,
or some people you look at and say, oh, they know what they're doing.
Okay, so I have like talked to and been in conversation with and did collabs with different people, right? And I also watch a lot of tarot readers and stuff. So it was this dude named A Vicious. He used to come on in the middle of the night, right? And he used to do like free readings and stuff like that. But he was really accurate and stuff like that. Very accurate. He doesn't come on YouTube no more. He's on the I don't know if he's on somewhere else, and he does some like gaming stuff. But he was really good. Who else? When the last time I haven't really had a real reading from anybody online in a long time. But I do like Bruja Africana, the Bruja Africana show. She's funny and she tell it how it is. I like her. I do like the Three Hoodoo Sisters. I like them. I like, who else? I do like Wisdom and Light. I watch her. I do like who else? It's a couple. Let me go ahead and look at my phone because I know for a fact I watch way too much tarot. What else? I like Aphrodite. It's a lot of readers that I feel like are good, and they've been doing it for a long time on YouTube, especially, right? And I also like Blue Nola Tarot. Actually, she was actually on YouTube after me, and I remember when she started, and then she just started blowing up. Now she got like 30K or whatever subscribers, and she's really good. So I mean, it depends. It depends on the person. Like I watch Mama Red and things like that. But
are you familiar with Tracy Brown?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Tracy Brown. I follow her too, right? So I remember when she said that Super got poisoned by one of her friends. Or something like that, right? But look, honestly speaking, when I do get readings, I like readers who aren't. You said, do you like Brittany the Cosmic Wifey? Let me go ahead and see something. But I like readers who aren't really heavy on conspiracy, right? I don't want to hear, like, if I'm asking you about what's going on, like, as far as, like, oh, when am I going to get, like, a new job or something? Oh, you got a hex on you and da-da-da. I don't want to hear none of that. No.
Ooh, don't make me cackle
I clock out immediately. I clock out.
You clock out after that.
Or like when they tell me that I got evil, of course you got evil eyes. There's always gonna be a hater looking at you all crazy and shit. They talk about you need a cleanse. You need a cleanse all the damn time. You walk around in the world, especially if you ain't got no car. And
I
you
feel
want
like that's how they be trying to get money.
Yeah, see, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear something different. But I'll tell you what though. It was this other reader that she is no longer, it was Pop Culture Tarot or something like that. This was when I first started, and she was in the service, but she was like Caribbean, right? And honestly speaking, she actually did the best online reading from YouTube I ever had. Okay, she told me, right? Remember I told you that I was dealing with my DV situation, got out of that, ended up marrying my husband. She was like, first of all, it's going to be between two men. It's going to be one that's not good for you, but the other one is much older than you, right? And the person that you're going to have kids by is the one that you're going to marry, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. Right? Like saying all this stuff. She was like, you got a choice at the time. And when I mean by like, when I look back at it, every single thing she actually said was true. I ended up leaving that little mess, that trash, and that mess.
And look how you be downplaying. You be downplaying the blessings or the affirmations instead of receiving them.
No, I receive them and stuff, but I'm like, well, me, I'm like, yeah, it is. It's happening. A lot of stuff is happening that I didn't know was going to happen. But you know, the best readings I ever had, I can tell you that everything they said ended up happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then even down to, like, for instance, and then mind you, we be having drama on the spiritual side of YouTube too. So just like y'all be beefing on the Black tea sector, they be beefing over there too.
I know.
Okay, they be beefing, and they be trying
all
to,
sectors.
What is that? They be trying to gang stop. They have like a Discord, and they be calling themselves witches, sending bad magic and stuff to they op.
That's a shame.
And then they be sitting there looking at they op live, waiting on something to go wrong, or them to say something bad happening to them, so they can say,
right.
I did that. I put that hex on you. I put that spell work on you, bitch.
Mm. Are you familiar with Quintita D? She quick to say that.
Yes. I love me some Quintita D. I love the way she read. Because first of all, Jaguar Wright got a lot of her shit from Quintita D. Okay, because she used to watch her before she ever came on the YouTube space and started saying all this shit.
Yeah.
Gag like
quick to do get a reading.
Yeah, so but see, here's what I will say again. Here is the problem with conspiracy shit. If you have any type of mental illness, you're gonna take this shit and wrap it up in your mental illness to make it make sense. That makes sense?
Yeah, to some sort of degree. I get it, but for the people in the back, go ahead and expound on that a little bit.
Okay. For instance, you think somebody's watching you and chasing you or some shit, right? You're dead serious. Somebody's watching me, right? And so you have a reader who's going to tell you, right? And I don't know why, but they'll tell you, yeah, you've been being stalked, right? You're being watched, right? So now that plays into your to your mental illness, but in fact, you have a fucking YouTube channel and motherfuckers is watching you on live and following you. Of course, they're fucking watching. What the fuck are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? In context.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm weak.
Yeah.
Not literally.
Or you sit there and don't hold that person accountable. And a lot of times when you have people, like, you get certain people that want readings from you that ask the same question over and over again, thinking that you're gonna get the same motherfucking answer. Oh, I mean, you not the same answer.
And we gotta take into consideration when you keep partaking in the same behavior and you expect different results out of your life, right? Or being the same person, vibrating at the same level, not learning from your experiences and wondering why these same experiences keep happening.
Why these spiritual advisors and tarot advisors are not telling you.
True, they got that in the church nowadays, Dazzle.
When they don't tell you, it's everywhere. When they don't tell you what you're doing, it's everybody else but you. Or, but I noticed even when Quintita was doing a reading for Jaguar, it was some stuff Quintita was saying, just like when she did a reading for Legina Gold, it was certain stuff that she was saying that was a direct thing for them, and they didn't accept it. They didn't want to accept it in some ways. Right. So you want to hear about Prince and fucking Jay-Z and who they're fucking and who they're not fucking, if they're gay, if they fucked up their money. But the whole time there's a real message for you. That's
right.
How that's stopping
your life about that will that will help your well-being. Yeah. Yeah,
but you're not accepting that. You want to listen to the other shit that feed into your psychosis. And then you have readers who read and they shouldn't be readers. Like, for instance, like,
that coddle you. Are you saying that coddle you?
No, not just coddle you. I'll give you another example. Like, I remember I called the psychic hotline, right? And so basically, the girl, right, she's reading me, right? But then she picks up, because they always pick up I'm some type of spiritual. I read tarot. I got some type of spiritual abilities. They always do that to me. They pick that shit up real quick. But they just don't know how, right? They was like, do you do something? Are you? And I'm like, maybe. But I tell them in the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically, I'm like, okay. So she's like, oh, we have to work together. You do something. You work with spirit. I know you do. Right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? So by the end of it, I told her. So then she's like, no, get my personal number and we can link up and stuff. She was in the DMV area. I'm from DC, right? And she like, yeah, we can meet up and stuff like that, right? So then, I was talking to her off the psychic hotline and stuff. We were just talking, right? But then she started like asking, like kind of bum rushing me with her friends to ask me to do readings on them. I'm like, nah, I don't really feel like doing that, right? So then, I kind of felt away because we was going to meet up for brunch at Carolina Kitchen, right? And I don't mind that, I'm always into meeting other readers and stuff, right? Because it can be a lonely place when you don't know nobody but you doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so
right.
But if I'm not really comfortable with this, you trying to put me on the spot and read for your friend and this friend and that friend, I got to be in a place to do that, right? But then I started getting like weird vibes. Right. So I actually did do a reading. She was like, what is my intentions for you? Right. Mind you, she had somebody on three-way on mute. So
that's a weird question.
Yeah.
And that's a weird question.
So when I pulled out that shit threw me off. I said, you know what? I don't trust your intentions. Fuck you. Right. Immediately said that based on the spread.
Go for the blow.
Fuck you, right? So that's when the motherfucker that she initially wanted me to read started speaking that was on, mute. And I said, basically, right? Then she was like, well, that's not what that was. So I hung up on him. So she texted me and was like, oh, you're not no real reader because that's not what that was. I wanted you to join our group and this, that, and the third. Right? And I'm like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face, right? So, mind you, I already knew, like, I already had the knowledge that I was going to have a miscarriage, right? Later on in the future, right? Never didn't say anything to nobody about it, but I already knew that, right? So she's trying to read on me and stuff. She was like, that's why your baby's going to die, right? So I said, well, bitch, first of all, no, here's why I fucked her up at. So this is why I fucked her up at, right? No, this is why I fucked it up at. Whole time I lied, right? I said, well, shit, I already had the baby. Well, that's not right. So that's when she started scrambling. She was like, well, I read the cards. It was, you was supposed to have. I said, well, that's what the fuck you get, bitch. And since you talking shit about a baby that I'm not going to have, do you realize, bitch, you done told me about the fact that your mama won't let you have your baby because you tried to commit suicide before, bitch. You done told me this shit. But see, I don't bring up nothing about people. You know, when you want me to read for you or some shit, I'm not going to throw it against, you know, so I'm not going to put that against you and stuff. So I was like, yeah, that's why your mom is right about you. That's why your mama don't want you nowhere near your fucking baby. You're evil, right? So basically, for a time, I had to block her because she would send me emails and stuff talking about, oh, we're doing work on you so you can lose your baby. Crazy.
Oh, she was a demonic evil spirit, and it was an envious spirit.
Envious and demonic. Nigga, you felt you see my little light and I ain't fucking with nobody. I'm being all nice. I'm jittery. I'm all whatever. Can I curse you out? Yes, I can. Can I go to hell with you? I absolutely can. And mind you, and that's the same spirit. Now, mind you, if you want to be into spirituality and spirits, that's the same spirit that went into another girl. You know, my next door neighbor. Whole time I gotta unprivate that video, but it's that same demonic spirit. It's always like when you get a breakthrough, or when I get like a breakthrough, or when something's coming, it's like the evil in people, the jealousy in people get heightened for some reason. And I realized that, right?
You know how to do you do protection. You know how to protect yourself.
Yes. But honestly speaking, jealous people are jealous people.
Yeah, and you can't help
to be honest with you, I'm fully protected. I'm totally fine. You know, I know I'm going to be fine. I know Daz is going to be great. Okay, on the real note, I know I'm always going to be okay.
Rebuke that. You got to rebuke it.
Yeah, you rebuke it, but I find it funny that I'd rather rattle your demon and let it out than to let it be hidden.
Yeah. Ooh. Mm.
So
I understand why you say that too.
I'd rather
know what you're up against.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. You would think I live a regular ass life. And this is I'm all talking. I live like I tell anybody else. If like first of all, when Cain killed Abel, before he even killed Abel, when Abel was jelly when Cain was jelly of Abel's favor because God loved his sacrifice more than Cain. God basically told Cain, if you do what Abel do, you can get what Abel got. But instead of him wanting to slaughter a lamb, he'd rather kill his brother. Right? But I told that to anybody. I'm not living some fucking precious ass luxurious life. I'm living a regular life. And whatever I can do, you can do. Like you can read, like Kai, if you wanted to read tarot, you can be a tarot reader. Anybody can be a tarot reader. Kai, if you want to have a job, a 9-to-5 job, you can have a 9-to-5 job. If you want a place, you can get a place. If you want a car, you can get a car. If you want to have kids, you can have sex with somebody and get them pregnant and have kids. Whatever I did, you can do it. So,
right.
Me,
are you familiar with, Prince? You said that anybody can read tarot and,
yeah, anybody can.
Are you familiar with Teresa Caputo?
Teresa Caputo.
Caputo. She's a
Oh, you talking about the Long Island medium?
Yeah.
Well, that's mediumship. Mediumship and tarot is a.
How does that differ? I know. I'm just saying. Okay. How does it differ?
Tarot is a tool of divination. It's a divination tool. Okay.
Okay.
When you're a psychic medium, you don't need a tool. You can use a tool to ground it, but you don't necessarily need a tool at all.
Do you consider one stronger than the other, or more divine than the other?
Okay. I consider all things, any gift, I consider it as a muscle. Right? Yes. So you can be psychic, right? You can see spirits, right? And I can be an intuitive reader. You could be afraid of your gift, but you still have it, but you're afraid of it, so you're not going into it and strengthening that muscle. But I can be strengthening my muscle in tarot, so I may do a little bit better than you. But you see what I'm saying? So it depends. It really is. It depends on what you're doing. If you're expanding what you're doing, or if you're trying to suppress what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like Dragon Ball Z. Think about it.
Wow. That's a strange analogy, but when you do think about it, it is.
Vegeta and Goku, right? Vegeta can surpass Goku, but he got to work at it. Just like it's at times where Vegeta could have been stronger than Goku, and it's times where Goku is stronger than Vegeta. But Goku, I mean, it depends. It depends. Power fluctuates. That's how I look at it. But you know, people
thought of it like that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, to be honest, it depends on if you're working on your gifts.
That's the truth. That is the truth. And speaking of gifts, Trips Treasure Chest, love me some Trip, says I'm a spiritual advisor and work on the multiple psychic hotline for the past 10 years. I've subscribed to your channel. I like your style. So you earned a new job.
Thank you. New subscriber. Thank you. Oh my God, I sound like Maggie Child. But it just depends. Like I stop. You know what it is? You know how when you go to like, I don't know, amusement park for the first time, everything is like, look at that and look at that, right? But if you go by like 6, 7, 8 times in a row, have you ever been one of those kids? Like in DC, in the DMV, we had Six Flags, right? And the first time you go, I mean, you want to get on the Joker Jinx, you want to get on the Superman, you want to get on, all these rides, and you're like, oh, the first couple of times on the ride is exciting, it's mystic, it's I don't know, it's like being a kid in the candy store. But when you go to the amusement park, almost every day,
just like when you keep doing anything over and over again, you get accustomed to it, and sometimes you get tired of it. And up in, when I did live in New York, we had Coney Island and Dooney Park and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. But
it just becomes intricate in your life, and it's not no oohs and ahs no more. That's what I look at when it comes to tarot. Tarot actually is still fun to me because, technically speaking, like for instance, that's why if you're especially a beginner tarot reader, the best thing to do is have a tarot deck with very vivid illustrations, right? Because basically it helps you tell a story. It helps you relay messages, right? So you'll get like, especially, and mind you, it's almost like when you first start, it's almost like opening up a whole new door. And it's like you're just open. So when you get a hang of it, your first readings are on point. It's like you finally answered that phone and you typed in, and then you just getting all these messages. So your first readings are on point, like real bad.
You have tutorials on your channel?
What do I have? meanings of cards. I have like little videos on how to store your cards and things like that. So I got a little bit of everything on my channel. I think I might get
You
back.
should start doing tutorials.
Yeah, I think but now I think about it, I got this thing called Planet Dazzle. That it's like a I put it as like a little playlist. Because I've been on my channel for a minute. I'm not even gonna hold you. So a lot of times I just do a lot of fun stuff on my channel. And like I said, it's like a muse, a hobby, and things like that. So I'll talk about the major arcana, the minor arcana, how to put things together. Mind you, I even had a thing where it comes to like how to journal your tarot readings and stuff, and I do like little tarot readings and things like that in the tarot journal and set it up like that. Like it's really cool. So it's different stuff. So I got a lot of content on my channel. And you know that I do it because I like to do it.
Right. So it sounds like it's a calling for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I like doing little stuff. Like I don't know, like I don't know how, but
or is it a fad to you? Is
no,
this
it's not
a fad to you?
It's been here for years. Okay, I've been doing this for years. So it's kind of like when I started, it was almost like it's not like I picked up something. It didn't feel foreign. It's like I was supposed to be doing it. That makes sense?
Yes, that does. That makes a lot of sense. It means that you were. It was something. It was a second nature to you.
Yeah,
it came natural. It was. So, how long was tarot around?
Like what Treasure Chest said.
Is
like
tarot a new practice?
Oh,
is tarot a new practice?
Tarot been out for so goddamn long. Matter of fact, if you haven't
how long?
It's been around for a long time. Matter of fact, divination tools itself been out. Humans been
now. I am familiar with divinations and all that.
Divination. Tarot is part of divination. Okay, but humans
like what is it a part of Ifa? Is tarot like a part of Ifa or Yoruba?
Okay, let me rewind it. Okay, if you're talking about tarot is a tool, right?
Yeah.
You have different tools that are part of divination. Yeah. Okay. You have things like throwing of the bones. You have dice. You have different things that are tools that can be a tool for divination, right? Even playing cards can be a tool for divination. It's just a tool, okay? For the message can come through, right? It's a tool. Humans been doing that since the dawn of humanity. Tools. You have even tribes. Tribes have even the chief of a tribe have a tool for divination. Right? It's just to get you. I like to say it's to get you connected in a way. That makes sense?
Yes. So, and some might argue that the Bible is a divination tool.
Yes. The Bible has spells in it.
I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yes, matter of fact, I have a prayer book of Psalms. Prayers can be spells. Yes. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I mean communion.
You better talk to us on
the ritual.
You better teach us something.
But Tripp's Tragic Chest is right. Tarot's been around for over 100 years. Okay, and it started as a game. It started as a character game. Mm-hmm.
Are you for real, Dazzle? Started at the game?
Yes.
To seek out future things, unbeknownst things?
No, actually, it wasn't even like, do you know, like, your playing cards can be tarot cards. You, like, people in, it's all that.
That's why and cards are used to make money.
Yeah.
Some might
like
say
when you make like any tool of divination, like altar money, like people make altar money, like to put on their altar and stuff to bring in money
for their ancestors and stuff like
ancestral money and stuff. That can be a tool of divination in a way. Different things. I mean,
For the people out there in the back that don't know what divination is, in a few words, what is divination?
well, if you break the word down, is divine, right? So,
Yes,
for
indeed. Yes, indeed.
if I'm just going to be technical, I think it is a practice to reach the divine.
Mm. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that. I like how you put that. A practice to reach the divine.
And what is
Hey,
the divine?
Luminous Blaze. The
Hey,
divine
y'all.
is, to me, is the most high. The divine to me is
But
God.
the Most High is
Some
in
people have
you.
different names.
God put a piece of His all spark in you. So that's what I call like whole time. I like to reference stuff like Transformers, the all spark. That's what God put in you, the all spark. Part of Him is in you.
Ooh.
Part of Source is in you. So therefore, a lot of times when you're doing these things, you're tapping into Source. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And mind you, if you look it up on YouTube, tarot has been around for the 14th, 15th century. I think it came over from Asia or something like that because they were doing card games like that in Asia. And then I think it went to France or something like that. But I forgot verbatim, but I be, looking up history and stuff. But, but to be honest, like, I actually felt at home doing it. And then, like I said, like I would practice with my dad at first. At first, I was like doing like words with friends, like oracle cards. Like I made my own oracle cards, and I start with my dad, and then I built it up, and started doing tarot. Right. So then I start with my dad with that. So me and my dad me and him got the same birthday. We're the same kind of people. We like anime, we like comic books, all types of stuff. So
Cool.
it wasn't really that surprising when I can tell my dad like, yeah, I read tarot.
That's surprising. He even knew what tarot was, though.
Oh yeah, he knew. he knew. So let me tell you. So the one time I did a reading, and mind you, sometimes like you don't get everything from a reading at once. Sometimes it's okay to make a spread, like, and keep it there and just look at it, meditate on it, leave, come back to the spread, look at what you see and stuff like that, right? And sometimes like your predictions don't happen like you think it's going to happen, right? Like for instance,
right.
you remember when Jay-Z was going through his stuff, right? So you had all these people predicting the downfall of Jay-Z and stuff like that. Oh, he's going down. He's going down. This, that, and the third. Like all the cards is like he's going down. He's gonna lose his wife. But lose his empire. First of all, what
going
I got
down.
Yeah, that this Jane Doe and all this other stuff that was coming out was the end of him, right? But here's the thing that I got when I was reading, right? I got like, I don't think he going down for no female. Out of anything, if y'all want him to go down, y'all need to worry about what he invests in and what he do money-wise. Honestly. It would be some type of business shit. You know what I'm saying? Money thing going on with him, right?
Right.
For some reason, everybody think everybody in the industry is raping and pillaging or some shit, which is not necessarily true. It's just not.
Right.
It's not even realistic.
Right. It's a lot of money laundering, a lot of all of that going on.
So basically, he ended up getting, because they was already predicting this before it happened, right? But the real thing that happened was he had Tony Bugsby out here, an ambulance chaser, basically, extorting him and putting these bogus ass, and can't nobody tell me no different, bogus ass victims. And mind you, I'm so tired of people saying victim. First of all, they're accusers initially. When you have a civil suit and you're accusing somebody of doing stuff, in the eyes of a law, you're not a victim yet. You are an accuser. So I don't know why people just come out and keep, oh, that's their victims. It's his victims are coming. No, those are his accusers coming out. Okay. So you had all these accusers coming out and it just fell flat because they were lying. So I'm like, well, his reputation may have gotten messed up a little bit and he doesn't look as squeaky clean no more, but he didn't die. That's what I got from that. So sometimes people like read stuff and I think that, you know, they read it, but they don't know how bad or good it's going to turn out. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely
do. It really wasn't that bad. And mind you, Jane Doe was lying like hell. You know she was lying.
That's the thing. If you say some things with enough conviction and things add up enough, it'll get passed. Yeah.
But I think that, you know, if we just want to really get people on stuff, we just got to be honest. If you be real and be honest, and think about it realistically, you can get people on a lot of stuff. You know, realistically, Jay-Z is not raping bitches left and right. Realistically, you probably want to see what his businesses are doing, because even the stuff with what was this radio thing?
The
service that
Tidal.
Tidal. It was some funny stuff with Tidal going on. So if it's, and you know what I'm saying, that look a little shady. So I'm like, well, how come y'all don't see that and talk about that? Why is it all of a sudden he's raping some random 13-year-old white girl with autism who traveled? I'm not gonna get into that.
Because they want to quick to prosecute people and put them in jail for a very, very, very long time. And some of these artists or former artists.
A palmistry. I am actually thinking of learning palmistry. I got the stuff to do it. I just need time. My introduction and stuff, my practice palm and stuff. I just gotta take the time and actually start learning.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a couple of things I want to do, but I'm actually, you know, to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you something funny though. And mind you, earlier on, about like 2, almost 3 hours ago, and I'm gonna end it with this, right? Don't let everybody read for you though, okay? Oh, some real stuff, because everybody don't have good intentions, right?
Yeah.
Some people want to put fear in your heart. Some people, they want to put their sickness on you. That's what I was talking about. Like, they put their own shit on you. Like when my cousin.
That's a word.
Like, for instance, that girl Grace, who was reading for Jaguar, she was putting her sickness on people. And come to find out, her ass was Lizzie Borden. Come on now.
What you saying? She was Lizzie what?
Borden. You know the one that asked her daddy why he was sleeping stuff on the couch.
You stupid.
I mean, yeah. So that's an example of being wary about who you let read for you. Or like even the example I was talking about, the lady I met on the hotline, on the psychic hotline, that just had to be cool with me outside of that. Yeah, you know, you gotta watch for people like that. But guess what? But see, here's the thing. If she was really a genuine reader and she had good things in mind, she wouldn't have been worried about that miscarriage. Because guess what? I was supposed to have like 3 more kids. I'm pregnant right now.
Wow.
You ain't talk about the other kids afterwards. You thought you was just gonna hurt me with that one kid.
Oh hell no! These bitches.
But you see what I'm trying to tell you?
You gotta watch out, girl. You definitely gotta watch out.
Don't let everybody read on you. And mind you, they're gonna do it anyway. But if you're, especially when it comes to like celebrity readings and stuff, sometimes, you know, some people, you can tell the biased readers from the unbiased readers. And to be honest,
you gotta be careful with opening. you also got to be careful with opening yourself up to
Yeah.
certain
Oh, I
entities.
got stories about that. I learned how to look. I
But
had to
what's up?
figure out.
But let me ask you this: what's up with people asking for people to send pictures for readings and shit? Can't they do the
Okay, so
readings
you have
without
some
sending pictures?
people. Okay, now here it is though. You have some people who read by visual, right? Some people
Mm.
don't need tarot. They can do visual readings. Like some people, their psychic abilities. Thank you. Their psychic abilities like tap in when they can see somebody. It's no difference than when a bloodhound they need to pick up a scent.
Mm.
Okay, so
Just
you'll
like
have
when someone wants to trauma bond with someone. Speaking of disgrace.
yeah. So like for instance, like you'll have like psychics sometimes who
Mm.
might need to be in the certain area to pick up the vibrations and the energy of that area. Sometimes you need a psychic to walk into your house to pick up what's going on in your house. Sometimes, right? Sometimes they need to be in a certain area. Sometimes they need like a piece of clothing. Maybe they need a picture. You have certain abilities that may need that. Yeah. But it depends. Some people like I don't know. I just think about it. Some people need that extra thing, right? But then you have other people who might just want to get your picture or get your information to do something chicey.
You make a good point. You make a good point.
But and then you gotta be, and then you know what I did see though in this sector though. I'm not even gonna lie, and this is my last little example, right? It was this one lady who was soliciting spell work, right? And she
Mm.
was like, "Yeah, my spells work and this and the third. My magic work when I do work, right?" And she would get people. She would get like testimonials, and they'd send her pictures and stuff, right? So it was this testimonial she had, and she was like, "Oh, you did work for me, and basically, I wished harm on my boyfriend, and then I didn't want it no more, something like that." And she sent a picture of this heinous car crash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of the testimonial, like my magic worked, this, that, and the third. Come to find out, she got that picture offline. And she was basically a charlatan and she was lying. Yeah.
Wow. And these people just do this, I figure, for attention and then mask it as they're being spiritual. If they're not, I found like if they're not in the right headspace, it's not best for some people to do readings.
No, no. Like a few tips, don't keep asking the same question every single time. Stop going. And that's the one thing I do hate though. I hate for somebody to go from reader to reader, reader asking the same goddamn question. Yeah, people do be too thirsty and desperate. It's a money grab. Like spirituality, even in the church, is all a money. It's even in church. You do have leaders who want to lead, but then you have other people who can be, predatory. But that's in any type of belief based situation. So I couldn't just say it's just this part of the spectrum. It's other parts. Any type of belief based situation, you're gonna have somebody that's predatory. Even when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to conspiracy, you have some conspiracies that's absolutely real, but then you have predatory people who will be a part of the conspiracy sector only because it can be monetized and it's not really real. Some of the stuff they're saying is just not real. They're just feeding into your conspiracy thought and your paranoia. That's why I don't believe anybody who wants to make me scared. Anybody who wants to fear base me, I immediately don't really believe like that.
Basically bait you. Hey, Shami, I missed you, girl. Where the heck you been, girl? Oh, Lord, Shami became a member. That's my girl. I love you
Oh,
some Shami. I missed you. I missed you indeed. It's so good to see your
yes.
face.
It's a lot of predators. But but I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie, it's good
true.
people and it's bad people. But I honestly think it's just not in one space. I feel like it's in all spaces, everywhere. Even on YouTube right now, you have people that do a lot of clickbaiting and do a lot of lying, and then you have people who are honest and just giving honest opinions.
This is a Fendi fact. That's a Fendi fact, Dazzle. Love you more, Shami, and thank you for becoming a member. Um, and they do. We got to do another segment on this, Dazzle, and we got to invite Trip up when we do it. So, but y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned. Y'all head on over and love on Dazzle. Support her.
Thank
She's a black
you.
woman doing her thing, doing her calling in this here tarot space. She gonna unlock me as a new character in this whole what you call it, the
Yeah,
tarot
because it
sector.
sounds like, hold on,
Slowly
wait. It sounds like you've been speaking for Diddy the whole time because the only male that's on the screen is Diddy.
You did me wrong, Dazzle. You did me wrong. You had me hiding this whole time. They only had seen your beautiful face and had me hiding behind you somewhere. I don't even know where I'm at. Show, put me on the thing again. Let them know I'm here. If you
I
can,
don't
let
know.
them know
I'm
I'm
gonna
here,
have to hold
Dazzle.
on. Let me see if I drop down if it'll show you. Now, if
Let
I
me see.
drop down and it show you, I'm dead.
No, it'll show me. It'll show me. Hold on. It'll show me. I know I'm in the show though. It
Yeah,
didn't
you
show
on the
me.
show, but goddamn, like,
I don't know.
okay,
I gotta give you a tutorial, and you gonna give me a tutorial on the damn tarot and the
we
stuff.
could do it. We could do it because
But
obviously this
well, we
damn
won't.
this stream y'all want me to have main character energy so bad.
You already got it. Shoot, forget stream, y'all. You are the main
Nah,
thing.
you got main
But
character energy.
I
I
had a
like
good
that.
time with you. We had a great conversation. Y'all catch the replay. It was awesome. It was awesome. We talked about a lot. We talked about Diddy. We talked about the tarot. We talked about Gag Liar and her disgrace. We talked about it all. Stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe, and share, you guys. This was a quick little collabo of me and Dazzle. And Dazzle did her own thing preceding me when I came on here. So y'all stay tuned, and
All
check
right,
her out because she's awesome.
I love y'all for
Hey,
real. And I'll see y'all later.
peace.
Bye.
Love y'all. Peace.